Stay tuned.
I'm
on
going.
the
Here we go,
group
guys.
page,
So
right?
it's gonna say.
I gotta find that.
Live.
Ladies,
Hello there, everyone.
Hello.
another episode,
What's up, y'all?
the
Welcome.
Nameless Shameless podcast, episode 17.
That's us.
17.
17 of these things we've done?
17.
We are getting up there.
Man, we've done some serious amount of podcast. These have been like almost 2 hours long too.
220. 220 last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, we want to start off by saying thank you to last week's giveaway. It was Throwbacks Grill Bar and
Yes,
Grill.
it was.
They had donated a T-shirt and a $20 bar tab. We actually posted on the group the wheel that we put everybody that was in the top 10 contributors on the group in there, as well as if you shared the video from last Monday. And we did a spin, and Missy Donner actually ended up winning this last week's giveaway. So congratulations. She won a T-shirt to Throwbacks Grill as well as a $20 bar tab.
Shout out Missy.
Shout out Missy. Also, we have Missy is the one giving away tonight.
Crazy how that
What are the
works.
odds,
The
right?
free pet petty that we'll be doing. So if you share the video tonight, if you live in the St. Louis area, she will come to you and do a free dog nail trimming.
If you have a
She
pet
offered
that's
to do
in,
that.
in dire need of trimming of nails or
And we used her a
face
week
groom.
ago. She was awesome in and out. I was like,
There you
"Are
go.
you gonna trim my dog's nails?" And
Yeah.
she
was
was already
done.
gone. Yes.
She took
So-
care of Buster's nails.
I didn't
as
see
well,
her
too.
face. She had a mask on, but she looked cool.
Yeah, yeah.
she's
really professional.
Safety, very professional. She's practicing the safety rules as of today.
course, yes.
Yeah. So
In and out before you know
congratulations,
it.
Missy
Congratulations,
Donner,
Missy.
as well as
Thank
thank
you.
you for the giveaway for tonight's episode.
Got it.
On top of that, we've got another big news. I mean, last week's episode, phenomenal following, sharing, and we almost got it to 5,000 views.
Yes.
It's at,
What?
it's at
Views.
4,900
5,000
views right now. It's like almost at 5,000. If you haven't checked it out, go and push us over the top and get us to 5,000. Also, our group actually added another like 15 members or so in the last 48 hours. So the fact that everybody has been kind of giving us a really good following and donating things for us and helping us out along the way. I mean, we are enjoying what we're doing, just having a good time.
It's amazing.
Being here with friends. So
Guys,
the fact that you guys have been tuning in and giving us some feedback, it means the world to us. So
We
thank
love
you
it.
so much.
We love you guys.
Yeah, and if you guys know anyone that would like to donate something like a T-shirt, a pizza, or something like a gift card, let us know.
Get your
Yeah.
name out there. We'll shout you out.
Yeah.
Help us out. We'll
We're
help
not
you out.
scared.
We don't want money.
That's
we
what
just
this
want to
is
give
about.
things forward, pay
Yeah.
forward.
We want to talk about local stuff.
Yes.
We want to talk
doubt.
about. I mean, we'll go outside of the realm. We're not afraid to go outside of the
Ooh,
realm,
we
but
aren't.
I think that we've got a
Definitely
lot of
aren't.
people here that have some interesting places that they may want to go to, or they may want to share for us. So get active in the comment section tonight and let us know what you guys think about some of
Yeah,
these
talk
topics,
to
or
us.
Please
if
do.
there's any places that we're leaving out on anything that we're going to talk about as well. I mean, by all means, let us know. What you guys think as well. So, big news for tonight. I have to throw this out there. Mark, it's your birthday.
It's my birthday.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Can you guys believe it? How
old
many
are you?
years young are you today?
36, man.
36 years old?
What's your real age, though?
I'll be darned,
22.
man.
I knew it.
Yeah.
So his real age is
22 at heart,
22.
but he's 36
This
in
man
real age,
looks
yeah.
at baby face
My
Mark.
stomach's 55.
Well,
Hell yeah, Mark.
Mark, you've always had an incredible sense of humor ever since I've known you, man. So
appreciate
happy
that.
birthday to
Thanks,
you.
bud.
Happy
I'm sure
birthday,
everybody
Mark.
else
Thanks,
says the
guys.
same
We'll
year as
spank
well.
you after the show.
We love you,
I'm
bro.
like, that's, yeah.
Oh, I
This is a
spanked him
PG
before.
show?
Was I supposed to wait?
Is this a PG show?
I took liberties before the show.
Hey, we'll be right back after this
I mean, I
moment
can
from our
take the
sponsors.
spankings whenever they're
And cut
available.
show.
So anyone can take a shot whenever they want. I'm
30,
open.
36, you say, eh? 36?
Mark,
36?
36, man.
Happy
What did
birthday,
you
buddy.
What'd you do today, man? Did you do anything
You know,
fun
I
for your
didn't-
birthday?
I didn't do a whole lot today. I got a barbecue, family barbecue Saturday. My wife's taking me to Twisted Tree,
Okay.
which if you haven't been, you need to go.
I've been there.
Go in there. Awesome. Very
Local,
good.
local, obviously, right?
Yes.
local. Yeah.
I'll be going there Tuesday night for dinner. And then a couple gals at work, Emily and Gina, brought me sushi and a cake today.
Nice.
It's really nice.
That's very thoughtful.
Yeah.
Very thoughtful.
So although you had to work on your birthday,
Although I had to work on my birthday, I'm
Turned out
off
nice.
Saturday, so at least I've got a little hope.
Well, let me throw out a couple
awesome.
things here real
Yeah.
quick.
Beautiful.
Okay. Sean Lorenz says, Lauren says, intro is pure class. Thank you, Boomer.
Yes.
Boomer's done some work with
Classy
that.
gentleman
The
over
whole
here.
setup's been changed
Very
up
good. Yes.
since the first couple episodes. So thank you, Boomer. We
Yes.
appreciate that.
Thanks, homie.
Also,
Thanks,
guys,
Boomer.
we
Expect
said,
the new cameras, by the way.
yeah, we do have two Sony A6000s we're upgrading to, so we're gonna have a really nice setup here.
You're gonna see every
Just a
last
very small
red
room.
hair on your face.
If
Yeah.
we have something in our teeth, you'll be able to see it.
Maybe some grays.
Yeah, let us know in the
Maybe some
comments if
grays.
we have
Grays.
anything in our teeth.
But no, thank you, Sean Lawrence. We appreciate that, man. Really, honestly, we've been trying to up the production quality because we've been having so much feedback and follow through for the show. So we appreciate that. Also, Mayor Fink, who also sent us the cookies that are no longer here. I'm sorry. I apologize. They didn't make it to this show.
They're
there
delicious.
Wait,
was-
this is the
there
first
was
I'm
a-
hearing of this.
There was a cookie
There were
cake.
cookies.
There was a cookie cake.
What?
Guys, all right, you're gonna get, let me tell you how angry you're gonna be at me in a second, okay?
You laugh while you
There's
eat
an
them.
entire cookie cake. There's an entire bag of chocolate chip cookies. There is some brownie bites that are still left over there that you guys can have if you would like. But unfortunately, everything else was eaten. And there was these other little ones too with like the blue icing on top. They were fantastic.
I got one of them.
Friends
good.
Bakery out of Cincinnati.
That's an outrageous amount of
Bakery.
baked goods that
Yes.
weren't
Yeah.
offered to any of us.
And how'd we get those?
Thank you, Kyle. But
You had some. Don't act like you didn't. You
I'm
had some of
saying,
the cake.
oh yeah, you just admitted it.
I still have some.
so-
hey, how'd we get them?
Friend of mine, Mary, thank you so much again. She actually has a bakery out of Cincinnati. It's called Friends Bakery.
Friends Bakery?
Yes. Her and her friend, I believe, are the ones that started it. And it was the first time that she had actually sent something kind of through the mail to see how it turned out. So it's some trial and error. I was happy to be a part of that. You know,
That's
that
really
whole
cool.
process.
I would have loved to have had some with you.
I have
As
some
well,
for you.
me.
I have some brownies out
I
there
like
for you
cookies
guys.
more.
Is it in L.A.?
They're brownie cookies with fudge in the middle.
You're reaching.
Cincinnati, I believe.
Is it Cincinnati, Kyle?
Mayor, I shared with a bunch of people, I promise. Unfortunately, these guys just didn't get any of them. I tell you guys, I did not do that on my own. Also, really
Apparently, they
quickly,
were good.
Mary does say happy birthday, Mark. Sean Lawrence
Thanks,
says
Mary.
happy birthday, Mark, as well.
Thanks, Sean.
We love you, Mark.
So we've got a lot of people out. Shout out to Chump from John Nesselhoff. He
Oh,
says,
yeah.
happy birthday, you sexy ginger, you.
Jeff Wood, really? Come on, man.
Jeff Wood says, happy
We'll
birthday,
ban
Mark.
you right now.
Jeff Wood says, happy birthday, Mark, but Boomer sucks. For those of you who don't know Jeff Wood, he is a good friend of
It's all in
mine.
good fun.
Jeff, this one's for you, Jeff. He always tells me I talk with my hands when I tell my stories because I'm Kyle
man.
Middendorf. And he
Yeah,
says that I do this
I
all
don't
the
know what to do
time.
with my hands.
But no, honestly, thanks for tuning
You're
in, guys.
articulate.
Sarah Saffold has jumped in. She'll actually be on here. She says, happy birthday, Mark. That's
Thank
Sarah, the
you.
social
Mark.
worker.
Thank
We're going to
you, thank
actually
you.
We're gonna have a mental health
have a
minute
mental
coming
health
up
minute
here
coming
for
up
all
here
you.
shortly.
Stay tuned.
Mike Katraba says, happy birthday as well, too. So,
Thanks, buddy.
And you're popular,
question,
Mark.
though.
Scoot over.
I did.
Andrew Vitale wants to know, how many jerseys do you have?
Let's see. All together, are we talking just hockey?
I mean, you put on it.
Ooh.
What do you want to
Jerseys
know,
is a
Vitale?
general
Two
word.
numbers.
Vitale, you tell me. What do you want to know? Do you want to know if
I'm
it's
a-
just hockey or jerseys in
big-
every sport?
Soccer guy, so I probably have about 30 of those.
Okay.
Probably about 60, 70 hockey jerseys, probably.
Okay.
Maybe like
60, 70 hockey jerseys?
something like that.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm trying to keep up
Football.
with you, but
Where
I'm
do you
about
keep
out,
'em?
so I'm gonna run out. I'm gonna run out here soon.
He's got a,
Are they hung up or
he's got a
folded?
sweet collection.
I
Well,
got the
They hung up?
the game ones are hung up. The other jerseys are just kind of like there. Just grab them.
The other than vacuum sealed
There's
bags.
a distinguishable line there between
it's down
game
in the
warns and
dark in
just
the
normals.
cave, so it's all.
Are they? Are
My
they
wife doesn't even go down there. She doesn't even see the
She
shit.
doesn't want to see it.
What the hell are you doing with 200 jerseys? In
How
here?
are they organized? By color or by like
Is that
sport?
where the bobbleheads
They're
are at
just
as well?
where- yeah, the bobbleheads are down there.
Boy, let me get to these real quick comments.
You think
Paul,
those are in the family room?
hey, Paul Heath says, hey, boys, got you for about 30 minutes tonight. We appreciate
Heath.
the time,
Cool,
man.
cool.
TJ
What's up,
Casey
Pop?
says a cookie cake sounds delicious right about now.
Yeah,
he
it
says
sure
he still
does,
gets them
doesn't
every
it?
year
Hey,
for his
we-
birthday.
I
wish
would
I
have
coulda
loved to
had
have
some.
had some.
TJ, congratulations. You moved up to the #1 spot on the Facebook group
TJ
for us as our
Yeah.
#1 contributor. We appreciate you
taking
for
over
that.
Carl.
Took over Carl.
Look
I
at
think
you.
Carl's in 2nd or 3rd place now.
Oh, you dropped down,
Jeff
Carl,
Woods
just like in
laughing at my
fantasy hockey.
mannerisms I do with my hands.
Yes.
Yeah, and then the adjust the mic. Jeff, you doing shots for every time I touch my mic?
Was that
So,
Jeff Woods game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can keep that going.
So, how many bobbleheads you got? Mike Katraba wants to know.
Oh, shit.
Which will lead me into a surprise for you.
Can we have the honest answer?
It's got to be around. Last I checked, it was 500, and that was probably
What?
before last year. I want to say 600, 650 at least.
Where do you sleep?
Fantastic.
So there's one room dedicated to bobbleheads.
I got big
Safe
news
somewhere. Yeah.
I got big
Definitely.
news. I got big news.
I
I
got to
got
see
to
it.
got
Wait,
big
what?
news.
What?
I got big news.
Kyle's got big news.
I had to like hide it because of my excitement, but
What's up, Kyle?
I think you're gonna have about 624 because I actually purchased for your birthday that Buddy Christ
Did you
bobblehead
really?
that was autographed by Kevin Smith
Happy
from
birthday,
Elite
Mark.
Multi Prop. So not
Love
only
you. That's
do you have
so cool.
bobbleheads in almost every sport and any Rugrats or not Rugrats, Sandlot or whatever it is.
Yep.
I think you have some really
Yeah.
interesting ones like that. Now you'll
Yeah.
have a Kevin Smith one that's actually
Thanks,
Buddy
buddy.
Christ with an autograph on it.
So dope.
I'm
We're gonna have to get
glad to
we're-
contribute
love
to
that.
That's
that.
awesome,
I love
Kyle.
it.
Happy birthday,
Thanks,
Mark.
buddy.
We're gonna have to get an
Yeah.
inside look
Appreciate
into
it,
your
guys.
your
Yeah,
whole
definitely.
your whole bobblehead
should.
collection.
I want a
We wanna
picture
see
of it.
How
We
about
gotta
this?
see.
I've been wanting to play around with some of the cameras and do some like non-live stuff. I say one of these days
One
we
from
take
the
a trip
bobblehead
over to
cave.
Mark's and we put together a little video to
Hell
show
yes.
maybe the
I'm down.
bobblehead and the jersey collection.
If
Absolutely.
you really want to know how sick I really am, you got to see it in person.
If you'll give us a
Catch them on hoarders.
glimpse into your life, we'll take it.
So Andrew Vitale also says that's an impressive collection, just to let you know.
Thanks,
And
buddy.
then
Thank
here
you.
we've got a couple other people I don't want to miss out here. Jeff Wood says that he knows someone with more jerseys, and I can't do that many. I mean, some people it's not for them. I remember you collected jerseys for a long time, hence the jerseys you ever. Is that Forsberg?
This would be Peter Forsberg on the
my
Flyers. The
gosh.
only way I'd wear a Flyers jersey is if it was
Absolutely
Peter
love it.
Forsberg.
That leads me into
But
Derek's question, which says, "What player jersey does Heath and Houston have on?" We have a Peter Forsberg here, number 12
I
for
got
the
a
Phoenix
game
Coyotes.
I got a game
Is
worn
game worn.
Paul Bissonnette.
Even
Biz
better.
Nasty, baby.
Biz Nasty.
Shout out to Biz Nasty.
Biz
Shout out to
Nasty's-
Biz Nasty.
Hey, Biz Nasty's giving us some likes. We appreciate that.
love him,
He's
man.
he's
Yeah.
liked some of our
Very
stuff
cool.
about the podcast.
He's a pioneer in the
awesome.
media
Yeah.
world
He
these
is.
days, man.
So,
Spitting chiclets. You
Really
guys are
quickly, a quick shout out as well to Kyle O'Kane. Actually, just jumped in. Kyle, shout out,
What's
man!
up,
It's been a long time. Congratulations. He's actually him and I think Kramer are the new coach and assistant coach. Help me out, Kyle, in the chat and let me know what the team name is because I know that you it was in the paper, man. And I read about it.
Select
so
or high
congratulations to you.
awesome. High school team?
No, it's
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I have to hear about it. We'll see what he says here. But let's see.
hockey
Jeff
players,
Wood
let's
says
say.
shots. He can't do that many shots. Okay, I got you. yes.
You do touch the mic a lot. I do. I mean, I guess we do combine.
Well, hey, really quickly, Mark. We always talk about your local beer and brewery that you have. You got a nice one, full one. Looks like you got one over here as well, Nick. Right?
I mean,
Thirsty Thursday,
it
correct?
was full.
Thirsty
Ooh.
Thursday.
It was
Thursday,
full.
Thursday
And this
with
is
Mark.
shout out to Center Ice Brewery. I know I've talked about them before. I think it was probably my first show we did. I did one.
Yes.
And so this is another one called Stick Around IPA, which is interesting.
It is.
IPA brewed with honey, hibiscus, lime zest, and juniper berries. So
for you
it's very
hippies out there.
different.
Beautiful color.
That's
It's
awesome.
very good. I
very
love,
good.
Hey,
I
real
love how
quick,
they.
Kyle O'Kane says it is AAA ice hockey. It's Car Shield is the team. So congratulations to you and Kyle Kramer on that as well too. I
Pat,
believe
Pat's
that's what
doing
it
those
is.
commercials, isn't he?
I think he was. Yes.
Pat Maroon.
Yeah,
Car
Pat
Maroon, baby.
He always finds a way on the show.
It's not a podcast if we don't
just
at
have
least
to-
mention Pat one
mention
time.
Just have
Pat.
to.
We love you, Pat.
Yep.
Love it. Kyle Kane says, keep rocking it, boys. Enjoy listening. Thanks, Kyle. We appreciate you
Thank
tuning
you.
in, man. Maybe we'll get you on the show one of these times to talk some hockey with us.
Let's
Oh
do
yeah.
it.
Moving on here, I mean, you got Center Ice Brewery.
Yep.
But you have an even more interesting beer.
I've got a
over there.
more interesting because
Because it
I was
pertains
just
to, like,
walking
kind of what's
around,
going on.
and because I just buy unnecessary shit, I bought more beer, and this is from Abominational Brewing. It's called Social Distance.
Where are they from?
They're
Abomination
from
Brewing?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
I looked it up. They're from Pennsylvania, so I thought
And let's be honest. I mean, just if you have a can that looks like that, that's
I mean,
going to catch your eye.
it's
You're
got
going to
like
buy
a-
that. The
like an
artwork on
interesting
these cans
fellow
is
on the
amazing.
phone having a beer, and the world basically not looking too good.
That's
behind
after
it.
you
But
have you
That
have
beer's
social
gonna tear you up.
It's got cool
it's
artwork,
supposed
though.
to be really good. It's a double India pale ale, so
And it's-
knock
What's
me
that?
back a
What's
little.
the- what's the
It's
ABV there?
8.2 on this bad boy.
I'm interested
So-
in the color of what that's going to be. That more to come. Stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Well, stay
Yeah.
tuned. We'll have some more of that and more beer Thursday.
What was
yeah.
Four
Monday
Loco?
it is
What was
now,
Four
so-
Loco? What was the percentage?
Oh,
God.
dude. Like,
12, 13
Something like
with
that.
energy
Aren't they
drink.
illegal now?
Literal heart attacks. People were dying from Four Local.
Hey, Zizan,
get
Lisa
rid of
just
that.
joined in as well, too. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Even Matthew Seaback joined in for a little bit. Thank you so much. We appreciate all of the
Hello.
support from you guys.
Love you
so,
guys.
There's another shout out you wanted to do for a friend of ours. It's Ellen,
Absolutely.
as I used to know her, Howard, correct?
Ellen Howard, her maiden name? Is that what you call it before you get married? Maiden name?
Yes.
Well, Ellen
Maiden
Howard.
name was Howard.
My neighbors, Just beautiful people. Grew up with DJ and Ellen. DJ, still a great friend of mine. Saw him today. Ellen, good to hear from you recently. So awesome what's going on here. She's got a daughter. Her name's Carmen. Great girl, changing the world, obviously. She's putting on this service project here.
So dope. I'm glad to contribute to that. That's awesome.
Uh-oh.
Time. Pause.
There it goes. No worries.
Right, no worries.
Like I
I
said, it
just
wouldn't
wanna
be a
get this
show
out.
if we didn't have one technical
That was on
difficulty
me.
throughout it.
We're not professionals.
birthday.
We're not
Let it go.
professionals.
This is birthday.
Yeah,
Give
let him
Let it go.
We're not
For
professionals.
those who
We don't
just
claim to
tuned
be.
in, it's Mark's birthday.
Yeah,
my
so this is
birthday.
Mark's birthday. Please wish
For
him a
the
happy
air.
birthday. We appreciate it.
birthday, Mark.
Sean Lawrence says he's had a beer from them brewed using the body of Christ wafers.
Oh my
Is that supposed to say
Wow.
waters? I don't know. Is wafers?
Wafers. Yeah, that's the body. Wafers.
Okay, okay.
So I'm going to rewind what just happened. And
we're back.
hey, my friends, my old neighbors, I grew up with them. Ellen and DJ, I love you both. Ellen has a wonderful daughter. She's changing the world. Those are my exact words.
That's awesome.
Listen, she's doing a service project here. It's called, I'm going to read you the flyer. Help us in helping the good ones. The terrible actions of a few police does not define them all. Really doesn't. Listen to this. Most of the good ones are out now working longer hours and some
are.
in extreme situations, extreme conditions, and they're helping protect our communities as well as they possibly can, putting it all on the line. We know personally also police officers who are out
Yes.
there,
My
good
brother's
people,
one of them.
incredibly good people who we've grown
12-hour
up with.
days until further notice. Yeah.
That's what it's all about right now. These guys are, because of the actions of a few bad police, now everyone's kind of paying for it.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but she's getting like fuel for the police that are doing the long shifts,
absolutely.
like Cliff Bars.
They want
stuff.
donations of water, chips, protein bars, snacks, anything to keep the officers fueled during these incredibly long shifts. Like you have to eat, you have to.
Yeah,
fuel
they're
up,
working
you need
12-hour
water.
shifts right now, 7 days a week. aren't
12
They are.
12
Yeah,
plus.
They're doing
I mean,
12 hours,
know?
and they're on every day, I believe. So
12 plus. You can contact Carmen at helpingstlblue@gmail.com for information on item drop off and pickup. And I just heard today that the Blarney Stone, a wonderful, beautiful, awesome bar right down Telegraph, is where you is accepting donations.
okay,
So if you have donations,
drop them off at Blarney Stone.
drop them off at the Blarney Stone.
It's at Telegraph and Ringer, right?
Telegraph and Ringer, I believe, is the cross street right past Ringer, in between 270 and Ringer. Telegraph.
Yep.
It's a big bar, awesome place, great place. We love the Blarney Stone. Drop off goods and things there. Also, the Crestwood Police Department is accepting donations for this. Also, if you just want to donate money and give anything, you can Venmo Carmen at KARMYN20STL Blue. I think we'll probably put that in the links because that's a
Going now.
long one, but you'll have it in the links. Venmo that. It's the service project. It is in honor of Carmen's aunt.
You have Ellen actually saying, "Hi guys, thank you all so much. This project is really taking off, and she is so excited. Already dropped the first truckload off today, and I already have another truckload for tomorrow. Just 2 days, and she is killing it.
Literally have seen
That is awesome.
pictures
Wow.
from the
Awesome.
last
That's
so
24
cool.
hours.
That's
Two,
cool.
two truckloads.
And she
I saw
also said super huge thank you to Blarney Stone for helping with that as
huge.
well.
Blarney Stone, we
How old
shouted
is
you
she
out
again?
before. Carmen, you are in high school, I believe.
That's awesome.
I knew Carmen when she was, I don't know, 2-3 years old. Just
Yeah.
a sweet little girl. And obviously she's been raised well and is doing amazing things, helping the community, helping police. Great things. Like shout out
awesome.
to you, Carmen. Thank you so much for everything you do. And support all of the good police officers that are still out there.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing.
There are.
Absolutely.
There are so many.
So with everything else that's going on and with how crazy things have been going as well too, we typically like to have a little mental health moment. So we were going to get your sweetheart on here, Nick. Correct?
Sarah the
Sarah
social
the
worker.
social worker.
Big news coming out of Sarah's social worker world too. Let's get her on the phone here.
Go ahead and get that dialed up. We always like to check in and see if we get any type of help. And for someone like herself who specializes in this, it will help out tremendously with the fact that we're going to be able to get some tips from somebody that this is what they exactly specialize.
Hello?
This is
Sarah, how we doing?
hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
How are
Sarah.
ya?
You got everybody here, Boomer, Mark, Nick, myself. We all want to start off with another surprise that I actually had for tonight, which I actually wanted to congratulate you because I read on Facebook recently that you actually just passed an exam, a pretty important exam actually, that you tried passing once before and were not successful, but you didn't let that get you down and you went back after it again and you ended up passing. So congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
That is awesome. It was a really awesome
cool.
story. And I really think that it's something that we needed to shout out tonight.
I watched this girl study her literal butt off and face off and brains out for the last 6 months, and it all paid off, and I knew it would. She's an amazing girl, and she's changing the world, and she is an inspiration.
Aw.
And thank you for everything you've done, and I love you. And I can't wait to hear your
That is
mental
sweet.
health minute for this evening, because I think we need it definitely right now.
What do you got for us, Sarah?
Thank you. I wanted to say congrats to you guys too on your probably 5K views by now, right?
I haven't looked at it, but we're almost
haven't looked.
there.
We gotta be
It was at
close. I know we're
4,900
close.
views before we started this show. We were hoping to get to 5,000 before this one. It was the most our show's taken off since we've started. We like to talk about local stuff here in St. Louis. We like to talk about sports. We're very opinionated, and we also like it whenever people get in the comment section and have questions for us. Just because we're not living in your city doesn't mean that we're not afraid to field a question.
Nope.
So
No
if you guys
way.
have it, definitely throw it out there. But sorry, Sarah, I'm going to kick it back over to you.
No, that's so awesome. Super impressive. So congrats to you guys. And it's fun. I think this is the first time I've been on with all 4 of you guys. So thanks for having me.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely.
We're so excited to hear
Well,
this.
hey,
Thank
you're not
you,
just
babe.
here with us. You're with 44 other people right now, and I think they're anxiously awaiting to hear. What kind of tips do you have for them in these moments right now?
Don't tell her that. Might freak her out. You're with just a few other people. Don't worry about it. We're all right. Let's just,
No, they want to know, and it's important. So what do you
It's
got?
so
for us?
important. What do you got, baby?
Yeah. So I thought we could start by talking a little bit of about what some of us might be experiencing with so much going on in the news right now. Kind of aside from any personal views, it's just been a lot to witness, period, all around.
No doubt.
So
A lot of
I thought
anxiety.
we could,
I would say.
yeah, just a lot to witness. And so I thought we could talk about something called vicarious or secondary trauma tonight a little bit.
Okay.
Before we get into that, I have a small disclaimer just that I need to say that, talking about secondary trauma, people of color and the things that are, going on, people have experienced full-on lifelong trauma, as a result of systematic oppression. I just wanted to say that that's what's in the news lately. So talking about this secondary trauma is not the same as that at all, and I just wanted to make that clear and kind of,
Thank you for
100%.
set that out
Yep.
there.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people right now, seeing so much on the media, starting with what you guys have talked about, literally seeing a man die on camera, and then so much brutality and violence and breaking and destruction of property. Again, all the views differ, but what doesn't differ is what this is called, what we're all experiencing together. And that's called the secondary trauma stress that you're feeling.
Yeah.
So, you might find yourself feeling unhappy or angry or dissatisfied and not know exactly why. There's a lot to process each day kind of right now. And what we can work on is developing a warning system so that you can kind of be tracking each day your levels of emotional and physical depletion before it starts to really affect you.
It'll overwhelm you eventually.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, don't bottle this stuff up, is what you're saying?
Yeah, and just it sounds funny, we should all know this, but I don't do this, and I'm in this field.
She sure
it's
doesn't.
more awareness.
Yes.
Awareness, or just kind of, going beyond what you're seeing and just kind of being where am I at with this today? Or is this, there's some signs to look for. So
Sure.
There's some physical warning signs. There's exhaustion, insomnia. How many people deal with that? I definitely have.
I'm
that
having
problem.
some trouble sleeping for sure. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It's
I'm gonna
weird.
blame a 4-month-old for this.
Well, the new baby
Well,
yes.
That has a little something.
I
to do
sleep like a baby. Melatonin, if you don't sleep a lot, by the way, is very good and it's natural for you.
Oh yeah. See, I try that. It doesn't work sometimes. If
Oh,
I have a
man.
restless mind.
Some people with
Yeah.
restless
I have
minds, it's
crazy
hard to,
dreams.
constantly thinking about
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, CBD works for me a little bit. Nick helped me
CBD?
get-
shout out to
Vape.
CBD.
Yeah.
I've heard good results from people using CBD products for certain things like that. So, yeah.
I use it a lot.
If you are clear-minded and clear-headed in your life and don't consume any type of drug or anything, CBD will work for you.
Yeah.
For pain, for anxiety, for many things.
We should talk about the one time because I have a lot of information about that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Ooh,
For sure.
well, mark that down. Yeah.
Yes, for
But
sure.
yeah, the
Continue.
restless mind, and it's kind of hard when you watch news right before bed sometimes.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might notice
Oh, yeah.
headaches, some headaches, sore back and neck. I'm sure you guys experience physical symptoms when you are stressed as well. The
Sure.
Right.
stiffness in your neck, those
Fatigue,
types of things.
body fatigue and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the list goes on and on, but heart palpitations, GI problems, all sorts of physical symptoms. Then we can move on to behavioral signs. So I guess it's not funny, but the first one was the increased use of drugs and alcohol. Like, how many of us can relate to that during this time in general? Like, pandemic. Like, I'm not a drinker, but
I would imagine a lot of
Man.
people had an uptick in those
A
things.
lot
if
of
that's
people aren't
something that
drinkers,
They did.
and they are
50%
drinking.
rise in alcohol sales.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it pushed to that extreme to where people went directly to that because they had nothing to do.
Boredom.
Nope.
And a lot of that
Boredom.
leads to boredom.
Right.
Right. Like
And-
drug and alcohol
Yep.
use
Right.
and abuse also leads to a lot of boredom in people's lives. So,
Right.
yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
yeah, it's a slippery slope a little bit when it starts to become a problem. So just kind of, again, that awareness, like, make sure to rein it back if you're like, gosh, I don't know the last time everybody has their own things and where you're at with that. But when you
Absolutely.
start feeling that way and trying to think of other methods of coping, avoidance of clients, maybe people at work. Here's another one I think people are, can relate to, is watching excessive amounts of Netflix or TV at night.
God,
Anyone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say
That's a
that
problem.
Yeah.
Mark has a problem with watching horror flicks.
I do.
Yeah.
Maybe the
He
worst
does.
thing to watch
Frightening.
before
I know.
sleep.
I still
Before he
sleep
goes to
from
sleep.
them, though.
He has a
Which is
Pennywise
scary
pop.
thought.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Sarah,
can ask Nick. Like, I had asked, we talk about Tusk. Is it garden? I'm like, Nick,
literally
do the
3
Wallace
weeks later,
voice.
we still talk about Tush. She
Not
makes me
good.
do the Wallace voice. I'll do it right now for you.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh.
That's going to definitely
awesome.
give you some mental health.
That'll mess your head up. And back to you, Sarah.
That it can be a sign of numbing out or not connecting with your family, things like that. Again, consuming high trauma media as entertainment. So it's not necessarily that we want to be entertained, but we can't stop watching. That can be kind of a symptom. Avoiding, phone calls, not returning phone calls, feeling helpless, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And to get back with you to the media real quick, like, what are we seeing that
Turn
is
your
real?
Turn
Like,
the
also,
news
like,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like here's
50
what I
different
think.
I hardly
stories.
ever watch it
For
for
he knows
that
what's
very
real.
reason.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Boomer. I think you made a comment on this the other day when you came in. There was me, Joe, and Brian were all sitting in the living room.
Yeah.
We had no TV on, like no music. I was reading. It was like reading articles on the iPad or whatever. And I think Brian was playing Boom Beach or something
Yeah,
like that,
probably.
And Joe was probably liking girls' pictures on one of his
Swiping,
Instagram
swiping,
things, yeah.
swiping.
Swipe right.
Yeah.
Right. But no, like it's one of those things where you have to have a mental break. Like you got to detach yourself
No
from
doubt.
electronics and social media and things. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm one of those people where I'm very passive aggressive. And I can't let little things like that get to me. So when I
No.
see like social media posts that like are just like something I don't agree with, I just skip right over it.
Right.
Yep.
Like I mean, it's that easy. There's too much hate in this world, and we're going to talk about that obviously a little
It's
bit later.
easier
too,
to
something
tune
that-
into the negative because
Right,
it holds your
yeah.
attention more than the positive.
Well,
It's
sure.
weird.
And that's all most of the news is. It's just they pump that out there just because it is more. It intrigues you more.
And
But
it
then-
programs you to like build that climax up where you're like at the edge of your seat and then the commercial comes on and it's tied.
Yeah.
And then you're like brainwashed to think, tied,
really quickly,
tied.
I want to throw this out there
it's
too. If
outrageous.
anybody else that's watching right now thinks that anyone could benefit from this conversation, please share the video. We are doing a giveaway again tonight.
Please.
Of the actual free dog Petty. Thanks to Missy Donner, our
Yes,
winner of
please
our
share.
last giveaway.
this is
So
very,
thank you,
this is
Missy.
very important.
But please share the video if you have anyone that you think might benefit from any of this conversation. So, Sarah, what else you got for us? What other tips you got as far as mental health goes?
We'll just finish with a few more signs and then kind of get into what to do. But
Yeah.
like you just talked about, there are problems in personal relationships, and I've had this come up this week. What do you do if somebody differs in views, that you have? The emotional exhaustion. If you're, like you said, if you're constantly engaged in arguing points or scrolling social media and getting worked up, you have increased anxiety, depression. Sometimes you feel guilt for having your own feelings.
Sure.
Absolutely.
You can also kind of shut it down. Like you start having reduced ability to feel empathy. So you're depleted, and normal circumstances, you might have it, and you just kind of don't have it for certain people anymore. That can happen. Cynicism, anger, just kind of depersonalizing. And then hypersensitivity to like the emotionally charged stuff that's out there. And it can even get as serious as suicidal thoughts. I mean, that is something
And
that you don't want to
in
take
extreme
lightly.
serious.
cases,
But yeah,
in extreme cases.
You're right.
We do it
That's-
create or consume. We do this. You're either creating or consuming. So like we try to do art, and we try to like Shay, my wife said, play like analog
your
games and
mind
stuff.
going. Keep
Do
your
something
mind
else.
occupied.
Create. Don't consume and build. Don't break each other down.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Which leads me to
Yeah.
another thing. There was actually a really motivational post from a friend of ours. You remember David Bell or Andre
Yeah.
Bell
Yeah.
from school, man. He posted up that he is a man. He doesn't bring other people down. I reshared, posted, shared it. Boomer, you did as
I did
well,
too. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
It's
Kyle, for
really
that.
incredible, really moving. Thank you, David Bell, for posting that up as well, too, man. I miss you. I still love you to death, man. I meant what I said whenever we were 14, and anytime I see you, I will pick right up where we left off, man, because you were a good friend of mine. So thank you for sharing that with me earlier today as well. So, sorry, Sarah, go back on to your other
Sarah.
suggestions.
Yeah, I would just say, after listening to that list of kind of symptoms and signs, and there were a lot, you can re-listen to them if you're interested, but you want to take stock and what are your big 3 warning signs you notice about yourself? Like the 3 things that are really amping you up. Are they all physical? Are they all emotional? Or they're a mix from each category? And then take stock of how is your level of functioning? Is it healthy or is it really impaired? Like Kyle, it sounds like you kind of have a healthy balance of, like letting things kind of not, impact you super deeply, but, you're still aware. So,
Yeah.
it also, if you have a history of trauma yourself, these things can play out much more intensely and cause triggers.
Right.
Some of the stories
Yeah.
you can relate to more personally than they may impact you, more than others. Every warning sign kind of that we talked about has specific tools that can help you reduce your levels of stress. And in terms of viewing so much secondary trauma lately, that's what that's called. It might be helpful, to learn some grounding techniques. That's something we can talk
Sure.
about. It's a whole other topic.
Whether it's
But
a
your basic-
meditation,
Breath.
find your center.
Breath is so
it's
important.
always healthy. Breathe the way you breathe.
Wow.
Finding your center. You're right. Grounding yourself. I feel like meditation is, if you learn how to meditate the right way, and you can actually shut your mind
Yeah, you
out
can
and black
clear.
it out and just
It's
clear.
so
everything
hard to
out,
do, but you can do it.
Yeah,
and it helps
absolutely.
so much. And I think that's what my beautiful girlfriend was getting at before I interrupted you. Continue.
No, I love that you guys have you have great suggestions. The ways, the few couple ways quick to end this, to reduce the stress. We obviously talked about them. Great suggestions to limit the amount of traumatic images and stories you're consuming all at once. Again, it's extremely important to not look away and ignore, but consuming hours and hours a day is not helpful, and you can start feeling that and set your limits. Like even my kids were starting to not like to walk into the room when we had it on so much. It's too much,
Right.
Too much.
Right.
Same for me, like trying to study for my test while all this was going on. I had to shut it down. Like, it's okay. Shut it down for a day. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
preserve your energy,
Yeah,
for what you
absolutely.
need it for. Take a break from social media. I've heard
Go
tons of people
outdoors.
doing that lately.
Good.
Right.
Get
Yeah.
outside.
Take a bike ride.
I went to
Lord.
Clearwater
Everywhere.
Lake yesterday and wrecked a jet ski. It was
Brian and
Awesome.
Joe are in George Winter Park,
Yeah.
I think,
Kayaking
with the
right now,
kayaks
aren't
in
they?
the lake.
Killer.
Yeah.
I'm peeling
So-
over here. There's probably skin on this chair right now.
that.
Sorry,
Get your
pal.
butts outside. It's
Man.
okay, man.
Get vitamin D3. Every cell has a receptor
The
for
sun
vitamin
gives it to you,
D3, so it
correct?
regenerates all your cells.
Get out there. Get some sun.
Throwing this out there real quick too, and then we'll get back to Sarah because you guys keep interrupting her. No, I'm just
Sorry,
joking.
Sorry, baby.
No, not at all.
But no, I had Justin Jacobsmeyer said that's the first time that he's listened in and he's enjoying it. Thank
Shout
you,
out,
Justin.
Justin.
appreciate
We love
that.
you,
What's up,
buddy.
man?
Also, we have all of our previous episodes on our page and on our group. If you're not a member of the group, please join. We'd love to have you. Also, we're on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
Twitter's the Name Shame Pod.
At the Name Shame Pod.
They're
It's
scrolling
scrolling-
at the bottom of the screen.
Scrolling
so
at
check
the
them out
bottom.
and join
can't
in
say
with
it
us if you
enough.
have. And
We
Jimmy
love you
Tracy
guys.
just joined in as well too. So thank you, man. I appreciate it.
The OG is here.
But all right, sorry, Sarah.
Back to you,
please,
Sarah.
Please.
We love you.
No, lastly, just reach out again. We talk about this every time, but really, there are so many trained therapists. If you're experiencing a lot of the emotional symptoms in particular, reach out to your family and friends for support. And also, a thing I think we forget too is that we can have boundaries. If it's too much to talk about, you don't have to. You don't have to explain something to someone else. They can get it,
They should
for
know
themselves.
themselves. Figure it out yourselves.
Yep.
Right.
It's not
And
everyone's
then-
job to just explain these things to people. Like we should know by now.
Some of the suggestions that they're giving in the comments, like Nick says, he walks his dog twice a day. And Jeff,
Yeah, get
my
out.
friend Jeff Chapman, thanks for tuning in, agrees with the whole media thing. And he says that he agrees and accepts that it's happening, but it doesn't have to be at the forefront all the time. And I agree with that.
Yes.
And that's the
media.
That's the
Kudos.
point here. Don't put it at the forefront.
good-
let
good
it
call.
let it
Don't.
just think about it and maybe move on with your day.
And then
Yes,
Shay Gutnick also says, I like you, Sarah. Thank you for sharing some amazing advice.
We love you, Sarah. So
Aw,
so
Thank you.
So
needed.
that was from Shay.
your words are so needed right now in a time of just disarray. What's happening?
Yes.
Well, I
lot of
appreciate
that.
that you think that this is important, and I'll leave you with just 3 final words of good self-care: escape and rest and play. So get away from it all, shut it down, get out of town if you can, rest, relax, stare at the clouds, take a nap, and play. Like, engage in activities that make you laugh, or be silly with your partner.
Yes.
Nick,
Right.
Do you want to give
Yeah.
some examples of that? Because we are silly.
Learn to
We're
play
kids.
the game.
That
Right.
is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
what
Absolutely.
more beautiful words could you end this beautiful segment
It's
with?
fantastic.
We
I feel
love
like,
you
I feel like
so
I'm talking
much.
to an
Thanks,
angel.
A literal
Thank
angel,
you
a
so much.
unicorn.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
Congratulations again
Love
on
you so
your
much.
certification.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
One step away. I
Thank
mean,
you.
this girl's gonna change the
And
world.
just to
You're an
let you know,
inspiration, baby.
just to let you know, Nick did not tell me about that. That was my surprise because I saw that article or the post you put up on Facebook, and we do
Yes.
appreciate the fact that you were
And
out
you
there
said
trying to
such
help other
nice
people.
words. Thank you. Thank you
so much
That
hard
meant a
work
lot.
coming out of you. You deserve everything that is coming your way right now.
Yeah,
Aw.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much for everything.
All right, guys. We'll talk to you
Beautiful,
again.
beautiful,
sounds good. Have a good night.
beautiful. We love you.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
That was your mental health minute,
That was
America.
good.
With Sarah.
Very good.
Take that advice and run with it. I'm telling
Definitely.
you.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely. Molly and Chris Ludwig, thank you for tuning in. Jeff says that he went out there and got a couple viewers for us. We appreciate that.
Cool.
We've got some other stuff to talk about as well too. I'm just gonna throw this out there. This is gonna be just like what really grinds Kyle's gears segment.
You love these
Grinds
minutes.
gears.
All right.
Uh-oh.
So let me question you. Maybe we have brought this up before. If I did, just let me know. How many of you go to Starbucks?
I do not.
You do.
I don't
Fantastic.
drink coffee.
Okay.
I'm out.
So anybody else that's in the comment section right now, please let me know how many of you actually go to Starbucks. I'm just curious.
It has to be 90% of viewers.
because this is an important. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of coffee drinkers.
$7 coffee.
A lot of coffee drinkers, right?
Yeah.
So let us know if you end up going to Starbucks because I have some beef.
This could be controversial,
Is this
but
about the rent?
I
Huh?
What
Is this
kind of
about the
beef?
rent that they're trying to do?
No, it's not.
I
Okay,
hate
go ahead.
coffee and I hate the smell. So
So do I. I'm not
I don't
a
want to
big
be
fan.
not a
I don't want to
coffee
be
fan.
controversial.
Well, I'm
Sorry.
on my own because I love coffee.
Mark.
I love the smell.
I know.
Here's
That's
the thing,
usually
and I'm not.
a
Hey, to
statement.
each their own. I'm not saying
To
that
each
there's
their
nothing
own.
wrong with it.
There's not.
I'm just saying. You know, Jeff Womack says guilty. He says he's a coffee drinker. Here's my
Understandable.
problem. Okay, Starbucks is a very large franchise.
Very
Very
large.
large.
Would you say
Oh,
that
yeah.
they? Would you say they
Extremely
have a
large.
pretty large following?
Sure. There's
Yeah.
one at every corner.
A
That's
cult?
when you
Yeah,
reach.
cultish?
Okay, so here's my thing. I don't know if it's
brainwashed.
cultish, but you understand.
They've
This is-
brainwashed America.
I've seen the lines wrapped around like they.
Well, let me
Well,
throw
I
before the
pre-order.
pandemic. Let me throw this
Oh,
out.
you're
all
a
the lines.
professional.
So you pre-order and you skip all the lines. So I have to
get the app.
drive.
It's a man who loves his
app
coffee.
with the yeah.
Might
get the
I
app.
add, my coffee was free today because it was my birthday.
There you go. And happy
So,
birthday.
Another
to you
benefit.
again.
Once again,
Just
happy
wanna throw
birthday,
that out
Mark.
there, but
I
hey,
cheers you, but
salute.
you are empty.
Birthday.
Salute.
Happy birthday.
Carl, sorry
Here's my
about
beef.
what's your
Okay,
what's your-
here's
I
my
wanna
beef.
hear it.
Starbucks
I'm
beef,
excited.
Kyle?
Whenever you outgrow your britches, you get new pants. Okay. Now, whenever
Lord
I
knows
have,
I know that.
when I have to drive,
That's true. I know that also.
When I have to drive through Limburg and then have a line that
On
is
Limburg.
wrapped around the Starbucks building out into Limburg that I now am getting impeded traffic from, I don't know about you guys. I see a long line, I drive the fucking other way.
So now one of
talking
our
about Chick-fil-A?
Pardon the F-bomb, I
You talking about
apologize for
Chick-fil-A?
it. No, I'm talking about
I know.
Starbucks,
There's
right?
passion.
If I
when
go-
you drop the F word.
Okay, yeah, I know, there is passion.
That's passionate. That's a passionate
All right,
statement.
here's the deal. I see a fast food place and it's busy, and I look for another fast food place.
right.
Okay? I see Starbucks coffee line that's pulled out into Limburg. I don't file in behind the next
Literally
guy in
blocking
Limburg
one
to block
full
a
lane
highway.
of traffic.
Yes.
One of two lanes is blocked
This is-
because of
it's-
Starbucks' line.
That's how
This
it's on
is a common
Grand.
thing.
Grand has that
It
too.
happens
It's a common
all the
thing.
time.
All the time, everywhere. They're constantly, their lines are backed up into freaking busy streets, and it is ridiculous. If you've outgrown your britches, get a new lease in a new building and facilitate your people.
Can we maybe get bigger parking lots here, Starbucks? Can we
So-
figure something out?
Here's what I do.
Oh man,
I
I'm
live right
sorry.
by the Starbucks that gets backed up. So I have to make a right there anyway. So if I see it and it is that way, I'll just go to the Tesson store,
So there you
call
go.
it in.
And then
But
pick-
people
there.
are lazy. and
You're a
won't actually
professional.
Get out
That's the
and
thing.
walk in to go get it.
That's
Right.
the thing. That's
so
the
I
thing.
will just drive to Tesson, get out of my car, walk in.
You've
it's
already
ready
ordered
to go.
it, ready to go, you're
and I
back
walk
in.
out and I'm gone.
way quicker than the drive-through. And I think
Right.
if you just abolish drive-throughs,
Right.
then that's what should happen.
I'm telling
And
you
this
right
is before
now.
the pandemic too, correct?
This is all the time.
Yeah.
Every
This
Starbucks
is just a
is
coffee
like
thing.
there's always a
Starbucks can't
impeding
facilitate the amount of traffic that they have, especially in the mornings
Get
through their
bigger
morning
britches.
rush. You have to get to a different location. You have to facilitate a bigger drive-through line that's not going to back up into busy roads. That's all I'm saying. But let's move on to the comments real quick. Some people are saying that they'd rather make coffee at their house. They prefer their own brew.
I do.
There is Mike Katraba that says he doesn't go to Starbucks. He just likes regular coffee with nothing in it. Erman says, yeah, Kyle, that line in Limburg can get massive and even wrap around by the old Kmart. It's crazy. It is.
Yes.
And I have literally just pulled in the other lane and laid on my horn and driven past them just so they know my
this
disgust.
is BS. Well,
in
and
all
plus,
of them as it
when this
happens.
actually gets back to normal, and there's actually traffic's already coming back. I don't know if all you St.
Yeah, it's
Louisans have
getting-
realized,
yeah, it is.
recognize this. But it's
Definitely
coming
getting
back when this. Like when Limburg's packed at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., people get trying to get to work like normal. Like that's
Yeah.
annoying as hell.
Right? Kathy Fink says they would have to raise their prices. I disagree. You know, I really disagree. I think that when you
prices
move
were high
locations,
enough.
here's the thing. When you move locations, yes, your rent goes up. That just means it bites into their margin. It doesn't necessarily mean that their prices are going to have to go up because of
They
it.
could make more money.
They have to facilitate it because they're going to be able to now take more people in and get them in and out faster. But I hear what you're saying, though, Kathy. Absolutely. And thank you for tuning in on the show. TJ also says, number one contributor on our group, Starbucks on Gravois by his place is the same, and there is always a line in the Gravois. So let's get it figured out, Starbucks. Let's get bigger lines, bigger buildings, you name it. I don't understand how you can't figure it out.
They're actually trying to reduce their rent right now nationwide or something like that because of the pandemic too. There's an article I read about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just something that really grinds my gears. I'm going to throw that out there.
Grinds Kyle's gears.
If they're working on it, they know the problem's here. They just need to
Right.
just do something
Right.
hell about it.
They make so much money.
An obscene amount.
They
of money.
do.
Let's
hand
Next
over
to
fist.
McDonald's, they've got to be like the next, if
It's
not
just- it's
more than
ridiculous.
McDonald's.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a Starbucks
Mike
box
Meyer
at
says
every
in the
corner.
comments section, you got to spend money to make money, and I agree. Man.
do.
Get
Right.
a bigger
Amen.
place, and
Especially
then you
at the
facilitate
casino.
and do more
Right.
business, and you will make more money. So I couldn't agree more.
I
So we're gonna
simply-
move along here.
I simply just go
that.
to a
There's
different one.
there's some really cool stuff I want to call out as well too, and he was taking a bite out of the humble pie and didn't really want to talk about it. But D4 Boomer
Yes.
is a company that you are associated with. You work
Yes.
with your
So-
friend as well. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Shout
so
out to you, Boomer.
Ryan McCoy, good friend of mine. D4 is actually it's a song, D4 Damager, Power to the People. What it is we do projection mapping. We take laser projectors, we use artificial intelligence, and what we do is we scan buildings. We create art on buildings. The other night, we actually put Black Lives Matter and a bunch of messages on a downtown building. It was beautiful. It's being spread all over the internet right now. It's going to go viral. It's a beautiful thing we're doing. Once businesses start opening back up too, we will offer services where we can come and do like visualizations on the side of buildings. For instance, Applebee's, we could do like rotating burgers and whatnot. But yes, it's something we do, and it's a passion. We've been doing it for years.
That's awesome. I really think that
cool.
was cool
That is
how you
awesome,
guys
dude.
did the Black Lives Matters with the
fist.
fist for the
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Power for the people, baby.
In a time like this, to be able to use your benefits and your platform to express your opinion on that, I think that's bold and that's awesome. I appreciate that.
solid.
I'll put a link in the comments.
Do it. A solid visual. You can chant it all you want to protest, but a solid visual that says it for
I mean,
hours and
we're
hours
talking
and days.
400 feet.
Oh,
this
you
wasn't
should
like
yeah,
a
please
little
post this.
picture.
Please
Yes.
post. What building? This is the AT&T building.
Yeah,
here?
it was downtown.
So-
the
I'm not
AT&T
sure.
building downtown. This was projected on, which is just like that's a voice, man. That's
A couple other things I want to throw out there as well too. Ferguson actually elected their first African American woman as mayor. So down there, so that's actually the first time that's happened out there.
That's a beautiful thing.
Also, we have a $40,000 reward leading to the killer of the police captain, David Dorn, who was killed, I believe, at his
That was
pawn
terrible.
shop that he owns.
Wow.
Terrible
Beloved
news.
captain. Just
Definitely
protecting his own place.
Tragic story. Now let's put it. I'm gonna throw this out there as well too. This man was killed by looters and rioters, not protesters.
These are not.
There's a difference.
These
a
are
difference.
not protesters.
Right. These
Right.
people were not protesting. These people were using the platform and what's going on right now to do bad things.
Right.
And that's why this happened. The peaceful protesters and the people that are actually speaking out for what they believe in are not associated with these people that are making killings and burning down these places. Those
They are
the people that are
absolutely not.
that are using this to do bad things.
The
and I hate
peaceful
it.
protests are in the day, and that's what happens. And then when the sun goes down, it changes. It changes. And those peaceful the peaceful
Say that one more time.
The peaceful protesters
Today, Junior.
and they're peaceful.
I was thinking that.
they're not peaceful. They want to be loud. They're not peaceful. This is that was a definite thing. Like, do not be peaceful. We're not being peaceful. We're loud. Be loud. Have your voice heard. Disrupt stuff. But they're not the ones that are looting. This is not a
No,
This
and
is
I
not,
wanted to make a
this
point
is
of that.
not at all.
That's what I'm saying is the protesters are not the ones that are looting and killing. These are people that are bad people, and they're doing this because they think that they can. So I'm that's why there's curfews. That's why these things are going on, and I'm
I've watched some crazy videos over the past week.
Yeah.
It sucks.
some wild
And I actually want to shout out right now the Expect Us rally that I was at the other night that went downtown. Is actually in Brentwood at the Brentwood Promenade right now. Supporting George Floyd, supporting the whole movement right now. And it's everyone. I'm guaranteed it's huge. I don't know what's going on. There was 899 that confirmed went on Facebook, which doesn't matter. I'm sure there's way more than that. When I went to the protest the other night, as I was leaving, there was just a mob of people showing up. So it's like,
right.
all day
there's
long.
a great
man.
turnout right now.
Yeah.
These are not the looters. These people have a voice. They want to be heard, and it should be heard.
Right. Another good news I want to throw out as well too, from a contribution aspect. How hot was it yesterday?
Oh my God.
Africa hot.
I am.
So-
Look, it was this hot. Look,
Yeah, it's literally like that hot to where
It was hot.
his skin's peeling off.
Disgusting.
That's disgusting.
I think I got
hopefully you
burnt
didn't see
just
that.
Going to get car
I got you a scab for your
Right.
birthday, Mark.
I mean-
here.
Guys,
Save me from myself.
it's hot out. Amarin actually donated $500,000 worth as a gift to aid Cool Down St. Louis.
Shout out to Ameren.
nice.
A thousand boxes
of air conditioners, that
that
they
they
donated
put
to
into
people to do
houses
that.
of people that can't afford it and need it and would be in bad shape without it. So
Right.
shout
I actually
out.
was coming across McKinley Bridge from Illinois back into Missouri today because I was working over there, and there was a guy that was out in a mask that was asking for money or whatever, and I don't carry money on me, and I had an unopened bottle of water that I had, and I absolutely handed it to him because of how hot it was out there, and I didn't even know if he was going to take it. It was one of those weird situations where I was like, "Do you want this?" And he was like, "Thank you so much." So I'm glad
it's gonna
that
be
Good
you
for
can
you,
help
Kyle. You got
somebody
some
out
good
like that.
karma coming your way.
Well, I mean, I hope
94
so.
Tomorrow?
I hope so.
94.
Yeah, it's only getting hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew Vitale says, "Wait till you get to St. Pete." He said it's hot AF.
You know what that means?
I'll be there in
Good
3
show.
weeks, buddy. I'll be there in 3 weeks.
Hot as Florida?
Get at me. I would love
Hot
to
as Florida.
hang out with you again.
You wouldn't believe it. Good call, Boomer.
So another thing we wanted to talk about real quick: reunited apart.
So awesome.
All right. So
What a cool thing that's been happening.
If you haven't seen this, Boomer, have you heard about this?
No,
Reunited
go on. What
Apart?
is it?
Mark, do you
I
know
have
anything about
not.
this?
No.
I've been wanting to tell you guys
So
about
give
this
me the
for
guy's
weeks
name.
now.
Can you give me the guy's name? I know that he was on something, or he is.
His name is Josh Gad.
Is
and
he-
he started as a columnist for a newspaper, Washington Post, a New York Post. I'm not sure. But that's how he started his career. He
The actor?
Josh Gad, he's been in a
Yeah,
ton of
he's been in
stuff
a-
now.
Yeah,
At this
okay.
point now
He's
he's been in a lot of
hilarious. Oh, he's
the
yeah.
voice in a Frozen. He's one of the voices of Frozen. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
kids
I know what
stuff.
you're talking about, yes.
He's a hilarious guy, and he's been doing this awesome thing.
What's the wedding movie
So let me
he's in?
tell you
The
about
Wedding
this.
Ringer?
No, I don't think so. I think
he's been in some stuff. Josh
Let's put it
Gad
this
is
way.
awesome. Shout out to you, Josh
What
Gad.
what he's doing is he is bringing together people from movies,
80s movies.
reunions of 80s movies.
Oh,
He's
that's-
done the
That's
Goonies.
so cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, he reunites stars of Lord of the Rings.
He reunites the Lord of the Rings.
What?
He's done the
Yes.
Goonies. He's done Splash. He's done
Back to the Future,
Back to the Future.
Lord of the Rings.
He's done
so
Lord of the
cool.
Rings,
Oh
and
my
he's done
gosh.
Harry Potter so far. He just
Yes.
reunites
Wow.
the casts of these movies.
He does a Zoom meeting.
Yeah,
and
Zoom-
These
it's a
guys
Zoom
pop
meeting.
in.
That's
right?
really cool.
And then they
Yeah.
talk about it, and it's really cool because some of them come in and like character, like Gandalf kind of came in and
Yeah,
character.
they come in as character a little bit.
And it's really neat, dude. It was actually a really cool show because they briefly start talking about it, and then as they talk about it, then they start talking about a certain character, and then all of a sudden he pops in. He's like, "Hey guys!" And then Orlando Bloom pops
Oh,
in.
that's
and
cool.
That was the Lord of the
Wow.
Rings one. It was just a really cool how he's doing it, kind of bring it together. It reminds me of the John Krasinski "Some Good News" because it's just a very positive.
Sure,
Yeah,
it's
very
awesome.
good.
I mean, these guys might maybe have not talked about this
Seen it.
movie since they
Right.
made it. Even like
Right.
the coolest thing I saw was when he reunited Back to the Future. He had
Yeah.
Michael J. Fox and Christopher
What?
Lloyd
Christopher
on
Lloyd.
it.
No
It's
kidding.
awesome.
Oh, I
Him
gotta-
and
I
just
gotta
interviewing
see
them
this
too.
now.
And shout out, here we
is
go.
cool.
The 4 days ago, this was up here. He might have a Ghostbusters reunion set
That would be
here.
great.
Oh,
Rest in peace, Harold Ramis.
yeah.
I wish he was still around.
Love him.
Year one director and writer,
Yeah.
I believe.
We still got Bill Murray, legend. We still got
He's
Dan
one of my
Aykroyd.
faves.
Dan Aykroyd. We
Yep.
still got
I got Bill Murray's autograph.
yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
So the Ghostbusters
seen
reunion might be the next Josh Gad reunited apart. That might just be fodder here. I'm not trying to spread fake news or frake news, but
That's a good beer, huh?
Ghostbusters. That is shout out to shout that beer out again.
That abomination.
That is
that,
social distancing with the
It is-
zombie can.
It is so good.
Shout out to that. It's nice.
It wasn't cheap, but I
Boys,
had a feeling.
I hope you guys are okay after
Boys,
drinking this.
salute,
It looks
salute.
kind of scary.
Salute. Shout out. Happy birthday,
Salute.
Mark.
Birthday.
Let's do
Happy
it.
birthday, Mark.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone's got beer, and I've got
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Pepper.
So
I got Kool-Aid too.
We wanted to shout out Reunited Apart. That's a cool series. Check that out. Josh Gad's
Yeah,
a
if you haven't
hilarious
seen that,
dude. Awesome
so
writer.
cool.
Awesome. He's an awesome dude. Check
So-
it out.
You know what? It's been a while. It's time for Nick's Stone Cold picks of the week.
Well,
You know what? We're gonna work on sound effects for that. We're gonna bring
We're
them
gonna
in
get
properly.
something.
We will.
Yeah, we're gonna get you in on that.
If
but
I can
right
get
now,
the Stone Cold, if someone can like JPEG us the Stone Cold MIDI break in, the glass
Shatter.
breaking with the
That's what
Stone
we
Cold
need.
start. We need that. Just like a 10-second
Yes,
clip.
we'll do that.
Someone, I think Conrad, you might be listening. You might be able to help me out there. So shout out if you can. Well, listen, y'all. You know what time it is? It's time for the live streams.
I'm ready.
Stone Cold live stream picks of the week.
of the century.
So
Wait,
so it's quick. I have more news than picks for you but I have a couple good picks. Not gonna lie. Check out liveforlivemusic.com for this pick. I don't know if you heard of Sturgill Simpson,
I have not.
but he's a hell of a songwriter, hell of a guy. Just blowing up. Tyler Childers and I think Sturgill Simpson. We're gonna have a whole tour this year, which would have just been outrageously incredible. Two amazing songwriters on tour, but that was obviously canceled due to 2020 being terrible.
Yeah.
So
So far.
this man has announced his
dumpster
free
fire.
Rymanatorium live stream concert, which is going to happen tomorrow, Friday, June 5th, beginning at 8 p.m. Central Eastern. Let me just start
Eastern?
that. 8 p.m. Eastern, which means
Nick has his own
7
language.
p.m. Central. I do. And you're going to all have to.
We scarred him from that movie, that trailer.
Really, I think, yeah, the guy getting cut in
there a
half
nightmare
and
in
tossed.
there?
I haven't been the same since. Neither has the entire family.
we'll find more. We'll find
I
more
know.
for you.
That's the
That
scariest
was just
part.
3 minutes.
Right.
That's the scariest part. So yeah, I love Sturgill Simpson. You guys will love Sturgill Simpson. He writes amazing songs.
Link
And
in the
he
comments.
He's putting it up there. You head to the official Sturgill Simpson website. You put the Live for Live music
Yes, I
link.
did. There it is,
Perfect.
yes.
Through that link, you will find the live stream. It's so worth it. Please watch him. He's awesome. That is my Friday pick. That is Friday, June 5th. Saturday, June 6th. I'm going to take you guys
Slow
to
it
see.
down, Nick.
That was. I feel like that was a long time to talk about Friday.
Good. You're good.
Saturday,
Not even here yet.
June 6th. Wait, this is this.
Come on, dude. I'm waiting.
Come here. We
Trying to
got,
post this link.
we got Ghost Note. If you like Snarky
Ghost Note?
Puppy, if you like Mono Neon, first of all, Ghost Note's an incredible band. They've got a man playing drum. They got a percussion section who consists of Sput Robert Sput Seawright, who won the Guitar Center drum off one year. This was 2017.
Was it a traditional drum off?
Yeah, full on drum off.
Traditional drum off?
He beat everybody. He's an incredible drummer. Snarky puppy old drummer.
Surprised I wasn't told about this.
He's who are you?
You didn't get the memo?
He's focused now his attention to Ghost Note along with his counterpart Nate Worth, who's one of the most incredible percussionists. These guys have literally won Grammys.
What kind of music?
Jazz, fusion, funk, hip hop.
Okay.
You name it. Mono Neon. Look at this guy. You
My
think he's
answer to that
awesome?
would
Dude,
be
I would love to hang out with him.
this was the first guy I saw on Jam Cruise, and I'm just so enamored by this guy. Words couldn't come out of my mouth. He walked right by me. I walked right by him. I was like, I couldn't say
awesome.
anything. He was Prince's bass player up until Prince died. I mean, he is a crazy bass player. Look up Mono Neon if you don't know him. His band,
That is dope.
their band Ghost Note is putting on a free show June 6th, which is Saturday. Made me choke up there. 4 to 6 p.m. on YouTube. I'm guessing these times are probably also Eastern. But there's a whole link here in the Relics.
Are you posting that up?
Everything.
Got that? You got Relics, baby.
I even have Nick's repeated words being posted.
Oh, thank you so much, because you need to hear this twice. Twice as
Honestly.
nice. That is my
Honestly.
Saturday pick, and Sunday.
I mean, look at the beer.
Hey, Jeff Wood
dude
says,
just
"Oh my
died.
God, yes, he
No, right?
knows what's
He's
up."
on
So
his
he
phone.
Thank you,
respects
Jeff
your
Wood. Hey,
choice.
Jeff Wood, I haven't seen you in years, bro. You know what's up. We
He's
know what's
short
up.
as ever.
Shout out Jeff Wood. And my Sunday pick is going to be a band I don't know too much about, but it's Camp. CAAMP.
Is it comp or is it can?
Camp. I've just heard a lot of really good things about this band, so I know they've been playing. They're on tour. They were on tour. They were supposed to come here right before COVID. I think that kind of canceled.
Yeah.
But they're a really good band apparently, and I want you guys to check them out. And I kind of want to hear what you think about them.
Yeah, tune in.
Shout out. That's Sunday, also 4 to 6 p.m., which I believe is also Eastern. So convert that to Central. Also on YouTube. The cost is all these have been free, so that's why I'm shouting them out to you.
Very cool.
Cost nothing. Click on the link. Just give it a minute. Listen to them. They these are live shows. Actually, the last one was a replay from Pickathon 2019.
So you're lying
Okay,
to us,
thanks.
is what you're
I
saying?
just lied.
So you're lying to us? is what
I
you're saying?
didn't lie. I omitted.
Here we go, Nick.
The last one was
Damn it,
from
Nick.
Pickathon.
hey, we'll be right back,
Hey,
guys.
shut the show down.
yeah.
Shut the
We're
show
shutting
down.
the studio down.
I really ruined the Stone Cold Live picks this week. Gosh,
I think
guys.
you made it, didn't you? You're great. We're just messing
I
with
think you made it better. yeah.
Well, those were my picks. But now, guys, I just have a couple
Look how
of
red he
stories
is.
I want to talk to you.
Real quick, though, I just want you guys to know that those are Nick's weekly Stone Cold picks.
There are literally
Of the week.
so many out there. You guys can look up Live for Live Music, Relics, Nugs TV. You know what to look up. There's so
It's
many.
there.
Those are just my personal picks that I suggest you guys listen to. Now, in music news,
Ooh.
I wanted to shout this live stream out a few
Another-
weeks ago, but I kind of got distracted somehow. I don't.
A band
no
I haven't,
clue how.
I haven't heard that name for that band in a long
it's been a
time.
while.
Dropkick Murphys. Listen to those guys. They were awesome. They had a live stream from Fenway Park. They set up on the infield. No fans, just a live stream. Well, it raised over $700,000 for Boston
That's it?
charities, which is, well, that's I wish I had that amount.
So, and Bruce Springsteen?
Bruce Springsteen
Virtual
also
sit-in.
came out. He had a virtual. He didn't
Virtual
come out.
sit-in.
Yeah, he was there.
Hologram?
I don't know what it was, but it was a virtual sit-in with the Dropkick Murphys, whatever that means. Hopefully, you guys checked it out and you can explain to us what it means. But it just raised so much money, over 700,000. Boston
nuts.
Resiliency Fund, Habitat for Humanity, Feeding America, everything that we needs help right now. All these things, everything. We all need help right now. But
Hell yeah.
awesome! Shout out to the Dropkick Murphys. Sorry I didn't shout that out.
Kudos.
A really awesome band announces a 2-night drive-in concert run for all of you New Yorkers up there. If you guys are in the Buffalo, New York area, and I'm sure if you are, you know of this band. Their name is Aqueous,
Aqueous.
and they are badass. They have one of the best guitarists in the game, Mike Ganser. Listen to them. Listen to their melodic jam, funk, rock. They're so awesome. Also, their drummer is just an incredible. They're a great band. They're having a live at the Drive June 19th and 20th. I believe it is at the drive-in, but I think they're going to be also live streaming that. You can go to aqueousband.com or the Live for Live Music to check that out. I'm telling you guys, that might be my pick of the night. Aqueous is such a good band. So,
Right on.
I'll check them out.
So mathematical, so melodic, so just on point at all times from beginning to end of every song. You'll love them. I'm not going to lie. One touch of good news here as far as the music festival scene
Asked
goes.
about this today.
Birdfest 20, which is pretty much swag stock now these
Yes,
days.
it is.
And it's been for a while. It's happening this weekend.
Yep.
June 5th and 6th, man. It's awesome. It's
Hell yeah.
happening. It was supposed to be in Arkansas, but I'm pretty sure that Arkansas is just running rampant with COVID-19 right now. So everything in Arkansas has been shut down.
Wear
completely.
masks.
Wear masks in Arkansas. Well, guess what? They've had a whole venue change just within the last couple weeks.
It
This
was
gonna-
Astro Valley. I think they were doing that or something.
it used to be, well, it's in Waynesville, Missouri
This
now,
one is, yes.
which is where the Schwagstock events have been produced the last couple of years. So if you've been to Schwagstock in recent years in Waynesville, I might have been to a Spook Stock when it first came back,
Yep.
and it might have been
I went to
Waynesville
them, yep.
about 5 years ago, which is just the same vibes.
Yep.
Just brought back so many memories.
Same family.
We're there
Jimmy
again.
Tebow, Chris
Same
Tebow.
family.
Good
Shout
people.
out to the Schwag. Still putting it on. Like I said, you had to move from Arkansas, which was the original place, but if you can't make it from Arkansas to Waynesville, Missouri, refunds are available, no doubt.
It's not that far either, is it?
A GPS that someone out
I
there,
really think
wherever
it's not that
Waynesville,
far.
Missouri, from St. Louis, it can't be. They moved north from, it got closer from the original event.
Okay.
So shout out to Birdfest 20, still happening. That is awesome. That's
That's
a music festival,
The
and
one
that is
positive
happening.
that we can say about music recently, because everything else was still canceled.
This is the 10th year of Birdfest. I mean, Buster.
Not a sound effect.
Buster is going crazy for Birdfest.
Good thing my dog is out there. His guard dog.
He's the 10th. This is the 10th year and the 20th event in the series. I guess there's 2 per year, and it's happening. We love it. The Grateful Dead experience, the Schwag, of course, they'll be there. Jimi Hendrix tribute, the Aqueducts. If you know the Aqueducts, a funky New Orleans horn band, so sick. One Way Traffic, Factory, more local bands. Go to Birdfest. Get out there.
Check it out.
Enjoy a music festival. And my last thing is one more music festival that is still happening, which is awesome, but it only really affects you all out there in Brunswick, Maine.
Oh yeah, for all of our fans that are listening in from Brunswick, Maine.
But I just wanted to make it
some
a
good
point.
news
One
for you.
guy's
like, hell yeah.
Brunswick, Maine, baby. Summer
Hell
Jam,
yes.
Summer Jam, 4th of July weekend, the Camp Out 2020. It's still happening. My favorite, I say my favorite a lot.
You do.
One of my extremely favorite bands of all time. I've seen them live so many times. Their name is Kung Fu. If you like new jazz, new funk, sick, just everything, an incredible band. Kung Fu puts on this festival. They're the headliners, at least. There's a lot of good bands. It was much bigger. A lot of bands dropped out.
Jeff Wood's saying that Marc Rebellier is doing the drive-in tour. We
Yes.
talked about that
He's
last
going.
episode.
And Jeff Wood, let me let you know that I will be in Kansas City, Missouri to see Marc Rebellier June 16th for his drive-in theater
so
tour.
jealous.
That's a Thursday.
That's going to be awesome.
I might we might have a live call-in
Calling from the Marc
from the Marc Rebellier show.
Ooh.
I think actually we can probably I'll talk, but we can probably work that out between me and you guys.
Okay. We'll figure that out.
Nick, can you hear us?
Well,
It might cost a little bit. You might quarter of the ticket
let's-
price, but we might do it.
okay. All right.
Marc
we can do
Rebellier.
that.
And you know what, guys? It's the music news for the night. I love you guys.
Those are Nick's Stone Cold picks of the week. Clap? Is that
Yeah,
supposed to slow
the
clap?
sound effect we can. Is it
There was a
proper?
sound effect.
Yeah,
No, I
sound
just-
effect issues. I
Slow
guess.
golf
We're all
clap.
right.
Hey,
Back of the hand.
so last week we talked about everybody was supposed to watch Space Force and they're supposed to watch Uncut Gems, and nobody watched it.
I watched Space Force.
I
We have a
watched
mix
that.
up. I watched Space Force.
I didn't get it.
You didn't.
Everyone
watch
watched
Force.
Space Force, and I
All right.
watched Uncut Gems. I did it backwards.
We're gonna talk about this
per
real quick.
usual.
Space Force to me, I watched the first 2 episodes.
Me too.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that it's unedited and that you can have Steve Carell actually curse and be funny in that aspect.
There's some funny
It's
people.
really
Yes.
funny. It reminds me of 40-Year-Old Virgin, kind of funny in certain.
I like how everyone's in this
hilarious.
office.
Oh, I know.
forgot to
And
tell
he's
you.
like, oh, yes. So and so said not to say anything. Space Force is absolutely worth a watch. I think that the chimp and the dog thing is probably the best. And you haven't seen it yet because you only did the first episode, I think, right?
I'm 2 in, yeah.
Okay, so if you saw the second episode, then you saw it. The dog and the chimp.
I remember.
No,
the
I
chimp.
did.
Okay, so
yeah.
you haven't seen the
I'm
full
1.5
second episode.
in, I guess.
But anybody that's watching right now, please check it out. It's Space Force on Netflix. It is hilarious. Steve Carell. It's got John Malkovich. It's got lots
So
of
many
other
Phoebe
from
Canadians.
Friends.
Yes.
So many
like-
funny people in there.
And there is a lot of good quality comedy there. Now,
Cannot wait.
Uncut Gems, heard great things, started watching it, got about an hour into it, got pulled away from it, but I love it so far. It's so real to me, and it makes me sick because I've had friends that have had gambling problems, and to see this guy, what he's doing and how he's going through it is pretty tragic. It's pretty sick to my stomach. What did you think about it?
It's a definite real life account of someone with a serious gambling addiction, and you feel you're in his life, and you're in his family situations, and you're just you fall. It's Adam Sandler is the craziest
Yeah,
part
it's
about
wild.
it. Like
One
when
of
you're
his
watching
best
it, you
roles.
forget that it's Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
You
one of
definitely
his
do.
best roles
I
for
mean,
sure.
Like we said last time, this is not a Happy Madison
No, it's
production.
not.
It is. It's serious, and it's overall, I think the hype eclipsed what happened in the movie, but then at the end, I mean, it's great. Overall,
Yeah.
it's great.
Yeah.
You guys will love it if you
Well,
haven't seen it.
Check it out. Uncut Gems as well as Space Force, both good watches, I'd say, in my book. Moving along though, we forgot about a story that's pretty important. Nacho.
Very important.
So Nick, go ahead and tee off on this if you know the whole story.
Well,
It's
Oh man, I can't wait to.
let me
post
just
this.
read you
You
the.
could just read the heading.
think it's
That'd
the
be
biggest- the
great.
biggest-
just read
headline of the
heading
day.
and then we'll let it go at that.
Porn star Nacho Vidal arrested on manslaughter charges after a mystic ritual featuring psychedelic toad venom goes awry.
So
What a story.
Basically,
Take a second to.
He killed some dude because he did some psychedelic ritual with the toad venom.
So
5-MeO DMT.
anyone who watches like Hamilton's Pharmacopoeia or Vice shows or knows about that stuff, they've seen like you squirt the toad warts onto the thing and
Yeah.
you trip off that. I guess I don't know. This is far
How'd
far
they
away.
figure that
far
out?
far away.
How did you figure that out?
Maybe
weird
from
people in
that
this world.
story where they kissed the toad and it became a prince. Maybe someone kissed the toad and then just tripped their
whoa,
butt off.
Nick.
Thank you.
Who knows?
I'm gonna kiss this toad.
I'm hugging you before I leave.
So there you
Watch
go.
out for that
Nacho
toad.
Vidal.
Nacho
Check out the article on it. It's a pretty funny read.
Yeah,
but-
there's a good article on the guy. He was arrested. There was him,
in connection.
a well-known pornographic actor.
we'll
It
let
said he was naked from the waist down.
It was-
Did you see that part?
we'll let them read it, Nick. We'll let them read
I
it
think the best
don't ruin it.
thing is for you guys to just go
and check it out yourself.
check it out yourself.
Spanish porn actor arrested over fatal toad venom.
Link in the
sales.
comments. Go ahead and click
Link in
it.
the comics.
We could have
Check-
cut to the
comments,
picture
check
of
it
the
out.
toad.
He's
You're right.
apparently
Rolling Stone picked it up. Whoa.
He's most well known for selling these beautiful aromatic candles that are shaped like weird things. I don't know. Look at
This
that.
guy sounds interesting.
Look at that also in the headlines. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. But
yeah, look it up.
Toad venom.
Moving
ritual.
along.
look it up.
here.
It's a good story. Biggest story of the day. It's all I've literally been hearing about all day. I just had to bring up Nacho Vidal. Plus, I mean, shout out to your name. What did it? Was that like one of those challenges where it's like name your favorite food and
the
your
street you live on
and your
as a kid.
and your favorite shampoo? Nacho Vidal. That couldn't have worked better for you, Nacho Vidal. So. It sucks that you're going to jail for killing that guy because you don't know how to use mystic toads in the right way.
I mean, everyone knows how to use Mystic Toad.
You
know,
think?
come on, man.
Like
Common knowledge.
shaped like male genitalia.
You just have to pop the glands on their shoulder.
Is that what it is?
Toad, no,
Hey,
the
no.
toads weren't shaped like male genitalia.
Are you sure that's what it is?
No,
No,
you
the candles were.
His aromatic candles were kids show. Wasn't going to bring that up, but Mark, happy birthday.
Well, I just happened to be reading and caught that part.
He might sell.
Grabbed my attention.
He may or may not
All
sell.
right. Hey, you know
penis-shaped
what? We're
candles.
rambling about this. We're not going to beat a dead horse here.
You're right.
Nacho, you're an idiot.
Nacho Vidal.
Congratulations.
Yikes. Sorry, buddy.
So really quickly though, I want to throw this out there just in short news since we've kind of went over a little bit more on the general topics here. there's going to be a lunar eclipse Friday.
Wait a
June
minute.
5th.
June-
Not for us,
worldwide,
though.
a worldwide
Not for us.
lunar eclipse, and the only place that can't really see it is North
Yes,
America.
North America.
Well, so we're not going to see it.
But
Well,
we're international.
Tell your friends though.
That was
We're
a crushing
also-
blow.
Yeah.
I believe someone we
So our
have
two
followers in
viewers in
Egypt,
Asia and Europe and South America.
Asia,
South
Saudi
Egypt,
Arabia.
all of our
If it's out there in
international
Egypt,
viewers.
you let us know.
yeah.
It will be.
Will someone post the video from that? Will our Egypt follower please post us a lunar
Reach
eclipse
out.
video?
Send that to us. Would
It
you?
will.
And thank you for all of
Okay.
our out of the United States
love it.
followers.
I hope
too.
we
That's
get it.
fantastic.
We're
That would be
international.
hilarious. That'd be
Shout
hilarious.
out to all our international fans. We love you so much.
Also, name one thing that is oddly still hard to get a hold of. Nick, go.
Bikes at Walmart.
Okay, Nick, Mark, go.
That's Mark.
I'm gonna say to get a hold of. Actually, still toilet paper is pretty tough.
Okay.
It's expensive.
Another one.
It is.
It's really expensive.
It is.
4K monitors.
It's just technology like that in general.
Technology.
Webcams are just absurd. Like I try to buy.
Crazy.
It's just electronics in general. I try to buy a
HDMI
treadmill.
capture cards too.
Can I go again?
Yeah. I tried to build-
Adoptable animals.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good thing though.
Yeah,
That's
we
a
love
good
that.
thing.
Until the
That is good.
pandemic's over, where are the animals going to go? I know,
They're
right?
gonna stay in the homes that are keeping.
They better.
But
company
once
of
they
the
go back
people
to
that need
work,
it.
but I'm saying
I have a dog. I go to work.
No. I'm
Yeah.
saying a lot
Yeah,
of these
two
people
dogs. I go to
adopted
work.
animals because
What do you
they're at
feed your
home.
dog? He looks miserable.
Saddlebags.
You know what?
Price is
you
still
know what,
alive.
Ace? I think that you should leave. Why? So you can beat him, fatty. Sorry,
Why
Ace
did you cry
Ventura.
about it?
Ace Ventura is a great movie. I hope you guys appreciate the quote there.
Don't you love quoting movies and someone that has never seen it's like, what the hell did you just say?
If you
Wait.
haven't seen Ace Ventura, you should
Speaking of movies,
drive to Montana.
let's get into this topic real quick. Let us know too if you're still out there with us. Movies that you can watch that never get old. Nick, go.
Are we talking about regular movies?
Regular movies.
Can
Not
this
horror movies.
is this just? I was gonna say
Say
Tusk.
horse.
I was gonna say Tusk, but so
Then
this
he
is just
thought about it.
from childhood
just
to
from
present
childhood
day.
to present day. Movie you could watch and never gets old.
Literally, I mean, just The Sandlot.
You
Sandlot,
read my
great one.
mind.
Good one.
And I've watched it so many times since I've been a kid. I've
That's-
watched it so many times recently. Like you
That's
can't
fine.
stop
That's a good
watching The
answer.
Sandlot.
Mark, what do you
Come
got?
on.
Man, I gotta say, God, there's a couple, but
Okay.
anytime I catch Dumb and Dumber on, I have to watch
Boom.
it.
Yeah.
I have to,
Yeah.
and it's on quite
Classic.
a bit. It's either going
Classic.
to be on Comedy Central, TNT,
Classic.
but if I
Oh,
catch
is
it
it?
on, I
you
almost
ready?
have to watch it.
You love it.
Tommy Boy.
Tom,
Another one.
Boy is
Perfect.
awesome.
We can go round and
Anything.
round.
We
This
can
could-
keep
this
this
could
going.
go
The more
for
we
an
talk,
hour.
the more
Well,
I
I mean,
have
we'll just
ideas.
go around a couple times.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll
we're
go
not
around.
running out
Your
of time
turn.
here.
Your
Billy
turn.
Madison, hands
There
down.
it is. I was thinking
Oh,
that too.
classic.
And Happy Gilmore.
Happy
There you
movie.
go.
Come on,
Piggybacking
this is a
off you.
weird movie because it goes back to my childhood.
Okay.
Big Trouble in Little China.
Good
That's
movie.
a good
One of
one.
my
Oh, I
fa-
like that.
Is that
I
Kurt Russell?
love that movie.
It
Yeah,
was?
it's Kurt
Yes,
Russell.
Kurt Russell, yes.
Yep. One of my
I
favorites
enjoyed
when
that.
I was a kid.
My turn.
Yeah.
My wife said Goonies. I'm gonna go with Goonies.
Goonies was my favorite
Perfect.
movie
That's a
growing up
great
as a
movie.
kid.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It was.
I have to tell you that Fifth Element is up there for me for a movie I
Which
could
I
watch
just
Almost
over
watched
and
that
over
last
Just
again.
night.
watched it.
Yeah.
Almost watched it.
Yeah. I could watch it over and over again. It doesn't get
It was
old.
good.
Yep.
Very good.
There's a movie I used
Go
to
ahead.
watch with my parents. It's a Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn movie.
Overboard.
Overboard.
Is it where
It's
she's where
Overboard.
she passes out and they throw cherries at her face and
Yeah.
stuff?
Is it Overboard?
She's going, bub.
That's
she
like
just
his
keeps going,
kids or
bub,
whatever.
bub, 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 bub.
Hey,
I
really,
watched that. I'll never get tired.
really
of that
quickly. I mean, we got some.
We have
up
some.
here.
Go ahead, read
Let's
them.
go.
TJ Casey says Ready Player One. Love that movie.
Oh
I gotta
my
see that
god!
movie. I've
You haven't
homage.
seen that?
It's like a
People are
homage to
you
Spielberg.
out of all
I don't know it.
Poor little
Oh, dude, you
thing.
gotta watch
I'll
it.
watch it.
Perfect.
Ready
I'll watch
Player
it.
One, great movie. Suggest you watch it. Shay says Grandma's Boy.
Kyle,
also
you showed me that.
Oh,
another
That's like my
Grandma's
brother's
Boy.
favorite movie.
Nick
timeless.
Swartzen.
Love
Greg
that
Shadigan said the greatest Western movie of all times, Tombstone.
Yeah,
100% could watch it as many times.
Great movie.
TJ says Martian. That is a really good movie too. Goonies, White Men Can't Jump, Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Is there,
There you
too.
go.
Hook with Robin Williams. That's another one too.
That was that came my childhood.
Kathy Rickerman says Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
great
Watched
movie.
that recently.
Yeah,
Great movie.
Yeah, TJ says I liked American Outlaws as well as older.
Yeah.
I was older, but let's see what else we got here. Natural Born Killers. I'll throw out Pulp
That's
Fiction.
crazy, yeah.
Pulp
That's a good
Fiction.
one, yep.
Now the one that I can absolutely watch at any time of the day, Big Lebowski.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
God, what a great
I can
Amazing.
watch it at any time.
That's funny. Now those were just kind of. I just had children's movies in my head. Like now
Shut up,
thinking
Donnie.
Like that. Like yeah, Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin's
Oh
a
my
good one.
god!
I mean,
Ernie
yeah.
McCracken.
Yeah.
Come on,
That's
like,
a great movie.
So
so many.
When he sees the sugar in his back seat.
Natural Born Killers isn't that what he said down here too. Yeah, I will say this though, because we could go on this for days. We got some other
could
stuff
be
to talk
long.
about,
Yeah.
movies that you can watch that are timeless. It shows that obviously they're timeless for a reason.
Right.
Yes.
So if you guys have some other ones, definitely throw them out in the chat. Let us know what you guys think. Indiana Jones could go up there too for
There
me
you go.
because I'm a huge Indiana
We
Jones
just
fan.
watched that on Channel 4 last Sunday, and
Which one?
the Raiders, the first one.
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
That's what it's called, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the one we watched. I
Temple
actually
of Doom. No, is it Temple of Doom
Ghostbusters
one?
is a good one.
That's a good one.
Ghostbusters
Have you guys
is-
seen
yeah.
the new one with the female?
yeah.
I
It
can't
is
do
I
it.
love Kate
It's
McKinnon.
hilarious.
Can't do
It
it.
is
It
funny.
is hilarious.
Anything with Kate McKinnon is and
still-
Melissa McCarthy's in
Yes.
that too, right? Like
I'm
it's
sorry.
hard.
Kyle,
I'm not on it.
you will laugh.
It's like
No, I
Bride.
watched
It's
it.
like Bride.
Yeah, I watched it.
I
too.
watched
Oh,
it.
you watched
you didn't
it?
like it?
Yeah, it's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
It's
I'm sorry.
hard.
I've only watched it
Now,
once.
here's the thing. I'm you guys.
Because you're a
can-
huge Bill Murray fan, I can see it.
You guys can
not gonna
have
say it was great.
your own opinion on it. It doesn't mean that I have to like it. It's
Yeah,
just that
no,
absolutely
coming
not.
from watching the first Ghostbusters
Oh,
to see
there's-
what they did
yeah,
to it
yeah, there's
was
no
a
comparison.
mockery. And now that they're going to do the real one,
Yeah,
that,
no, I
that's
can't wait
was
for
out.
that.
That's gonna
That actually looks like a lot.
that's
going
gonna
to
be the one that's gonna bring
definitely
it
see
back.
that.
The original cast too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we needed, and I think that that's going to be that's
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah.
Mr. Docs, did you ever watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary? TJ wants to know.
Still haven't. I actually
Filthy Rich.
Mr. Docs has a couple docs on his list, and it's going to be the Jeffrey Epstein one. Epstein, whatever that dick's name was. Yeah, that's coming up
I
soon.
gotta watch that.
That's some
And then,
creepy
and then
stuff.
yes. Well, what did TJ mention there?
Also, Filthy Rich.
What was before?
I said Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah, I want to watch. I
Hernandez.
want to watch that. I know the story.
Oh,
but
my
I'm sure it
goodness.
goes deeper than you could ever know.
Justin Jacobsmeyer says CKY2K. I
That's
could watch
classic.
that
Yes.
so many times.
You ever take a shit while running at full speed?
When he kicks the football,
That's CKY3K.
it's a new car. It's
I
a
know
93.
things you've never seen. You never seen a man take a shit while running at full speed. And all the music goes ding 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 ding, and it's Rab himself in like a point position and a jock strap, and he ate like laxatives, and he starts running, and he just
Takes the shit at full speed.
CKY2K is hands down. one of my favorite movies,
Congratulations.
too,
Yes.
so good call on that as well. Congratulations.
Yes.
I
Shout
can
out,
still
Justin.
sing every word to Brand's freestyle, by the way.
Chicken biting down.
Yeah, you don't even know.
Hilarious.
You don't even know. dude.
Wow.
Might not be appropriate.
I'm
I
having,
don't know.
like,
Who like my
Flashback.
chopstick? Yeah, we won't go there. But no,
Oh,
good call out there.
CKY2K. That shaped our childhoods.
Also, for you guys that have Apple Watches that have not set up your walkie-talkie feature, Boomer,
have.
it's basically
Yes.
like what was it? Nextel chirping.
It's literally a walkie-talkie.
All
It
you do is you
amazing.
add your friends,
pretty cool.
then you
Yeah.
go to the app and do it, and it beeps their Apple Watch
Can
if
I
they're available.
walkie-talkie you right now?
No, let's not get too
I
overwhelmed
got
with
it
it.
too.
You know.
You can also follow your friends and see how lazy they're being. Be like, close your rings.
Yeah,
you
I know.
lazy asses. Get
I
up.
just closed my stand ring for some reason.
Yeah. Like, well, if you don't stand for 12 hours a day, then get your ass up.
Yeah.
Follow your friends with Apple Watches and yell at them when they're not doing anything.
Yes.
Well, hey, I gotta throw this out there. We've got some sports stuff to talk about, and I hope that these
Sports.
22 people that are here right now, I hope that some of our NHL groups we've shared it to, because this is
Sure.
going to be one that I think is going to really be interesting to them. So there's a man. His name is Max Kellerman. Okay. How many of you guys know who Max Kellerman is?
Unfortunately.
He's mostly a boxing analyst, correct?
Mostly a boxing analyst, which means that he
Means he knows about
mostly
boxing.
about boxing. Then, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
So he made a comment and he said, quote unquote, nobody really cares about hockey. The full one was in the United States of America, no one really cares about hockey because it's not one of the 4 major team sports.
Okay, and then let's talk about what
Let's-
the 4 major team sports are: baseball, basketball.
First of all, it's NFL,
Football.
MLB, NBA, and NHL.
I thought the 4th would be hockey.
Well, no, because MLS is lower revenue band. Let me get some facts here for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's
Sorry,
here's-
Max.
Max
Sorry, Max, to
Kellerman.
judge you before I hear what's actually happening.
Yeah, don't judge Max right away because we've got to make sure that Max is actually doing something wrong here. Now we're just a lonely podcast, okay?
It's a lonely old.
So we
podcast.
don't have anything other than just opinions about this, and I'll try to play it for you guys in a second. But here's the deal, Max. Based on revenue in the United States of America, the top 4 major professional sports leagues are the NFL, the MLB, NBA, and NHL, and a tight 5th following after that would be MLS.
MLS is tight,
Now-
close behind NHL.
Not tight, but I
It's
would say
gotta
that the biggest is obviously NFL, and he's right in a certain aspect because he talks about the actual market, about the NFL market and the TV contracts and stuff, which I get it.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, for him to not recognize that NHL is one of the top 4 sports is a
It's
joke.
absolutely absurd.
It is absurd.
It is.
Absolutely absurd. And I would go as far to call him our tool of the day.
I will
Tool of
say
the
he's
day.
the tool of the day.
Max
Tool of
Kellerman.
the day.
Now, here's the thing. I sit here. Okay. Oh, your bathroom break time. Okay.
Nature calls.
I sit here, and my thing, Mark, which I'll throw it out like this.
yeah.
It's frustrating to me, I think, because Max comes in as being a guy that is a boxing analyst at best, and I don't even know that much of him. I've heard him talk before, and I know that he's
pretty obnoxious.
opinionated. I don't
Yeah.
really care for him. I've
Yeah.
heard him talk before, and I don't really care for some of his other views as well, too.
Right.
But in the grand scheme of things, if there's something that I don't care about, then I don't talk about it.
Right.
But I don't
Exactly.
think that I don't even know how that got brought
I
up
think
or
it
what
was
the
just-
context was of how it even got brought up.
I'm
to
not
do
sure
that.
how it came to be, but to go out and just blatantly blast the NHL,
I mean-
especially when you don't know anything. I mean, honestly, ESPN, you have no business right now talking about the NHL at all. From anything we've posted things they've posted, it looks like they don't even have someone working it
Right.
that has anything what's going on. They cut to Barry Melrose for a minute and a half, and he gives a rundown of what he thinks, and then hockey's over.
Right.
So anyone commenting from the ESPN really that they think the NHL is just a waste, you have nothing to do with it anyways. How the hell would you know?
Right.
That's the thing.
So
TJ says Max is a douche and judged.
And they don't, and that's the thing. They don't even barely show baseball on
He also says
Right.
on ESPN. It's,
It's
like
really-
football and NBA dominated.
it's football and NBA.
And that's fine, but don't freaking comment.
Yeah.
he also says NHL blows away MLS. Then Nick actually says
Blows
soccer
away.
is the most watched sport in the world, though. Thank you for the fun
In the
fact,
world.
Nick. We're talking about the United States here with the comments that Max Kellerman made upon not being one of the top 4 sports
In America.
In America.
So that's the topic right now that we have going in as the top 4 from a revenue band, like I just named to you. Not in any order. Obviously, NFL is the biggest, and I think MLB is right behind them, and then it's NHL or NBA, and then NHL.
But then why does he say it's not one of the top 4? Does he consider soccer better,
well, what I
higher
think
than
that-
NHL?
well,
or
the
is he
bigger
just
question
saying
is-
shit?
The bigger question is Max Kellerman didn't release what 4 that he thought were the main.
So he's
sports.
just
Right.
saying
What
stuff.
I would-
So he's just saying.
and he's
just
on
going off
camera
the mouth.
saying stuff live.
You're gonna it's not good.
This is hard. Hey,
it's bad for him to even
It is.
kind of go to this point, and you took a shot at the NHL for no real reason.
Well, let me
just
tell you
did it.
this.
sometimes you try to be controversial, and then it's like,
Why-
yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but
Right.
now
He's
I did.
more of a
and
ba-
now
he's more of a
it lives
baseball
in-
fan though too, isn't he? Is he more of a baseball guy? So look at it this way: at least our sport is going to play this year.
Hey, it looks like
And at
NBA
least-
and NHL are coming back. I don't know
Right.
what baseball's up to. This
So,
is ridiculous.
And with
Doesn't
baseball,
look good for baseball.
let's
at
put it
all.
this way: with baseball potentially looking like they could potentially have another holdout, that could give you a little bump from your NHL to take some TV ratings and
Absolutely.
TV spots.
Could
from
the NHL
There's
Major
a
League
good
teams.
chance.
Could the
And what-
NHL become America's pastime?
They could.
Steal it from Canada?
No, it is baseball heaven in
coming.
St. Louis. But I'll tell you that Stanley Cup.
Oh, that's-
this Blues team has definitely taken their shot.
And although
of,
the card-
of taking over St. Louis, I don't know if everyone else feels the same way, but you're excited about Blues hockey.
The Cardinals,
I don't care who
Absolutely.
you are.
they made
Absolutely.
Cardinals
Yeah.
made it
You
to the
just
last
are.
4 teams last year, but it didn't feel like a exciting season to me. At least as much as the Blues.
because we
would.
grinded it out. So that's
Yeah.
just kind of how it ended up working out. Nick actually says that SportsCenter barely covers the NHL. They don't even understand anything
Barely.
that's going on when they do cover it. It is a joke.
So can we just
I
ask
can agree
anyone
with
from
that.
ESPN who's listening tonight to don't comment on NHL because you don't care and you don't know.
Max
So
Kellerman,
why?
if you're watching this,
Please,
stop
we
talking.
know you are.
about the NHL.
Max,
Right.
Stay to
chill,
what you
bro.
know.
Right.
Leave it
so
alone.
when it comes to that too, the other thing that comes into play is that you're talking about something that you're putting. Baseball itself has already lost fans.
Yeah.
They're trying to speed
Bad.
the games up. They're
Right.
trying to change the game because of the fact that people are bored with that, right?
Sure.
So you're going to sit there and tell me that these owners, right, that are offering the deal and working with the Major League Players Association are saying that they want more money from this whole thing. They don't even own the stadiums. Okay, the cities pay for most of the stadiums.
Right.
Okay, if you want to get down to the brass tacks of it. So if you want to talk about a $1 billion owner that is not going to get as much money as he got last year, and all he has to do is have a fraction of a season this year, to me that's asinine, and the players shouldn't budge because they're the ones that are going to risk an injury of potentially not getting the money or whatever the following years if they hurt themselves in a aggressively pushed season that is not going to work out. So that's why I don't even see the deal getting close to being done.
No,
So
I don't see baseball.
I see baseball having another holdout and then potentially a bargaining agreement. How long do they have left on their bargaining agreement?
Time doesn't stop.
Right.
We're this
Right.
is like
We're
they need
getting
to
to
do
a point
something
where
here.
you're going to have to. I got to say, within a month here or something, something's got to be decided. You got to do something, or it's done.
To me, it's the
mean,
greediness
just
of the
hope for-
owners, man.
Yeah,
Because you already have billionaire owners that are obviously been making money off of these players that play for them.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're going to take a hit this year, I get it. You're going to take a hit. Lots of people are taking hits, and they're
Everyone's
not in,
taking
and
a
they're
hit.
not in the same
Everyone's
situation that these guys that have money are.
And here's the thing to me is the fact that the owners kind of like almost teamed up, like the majority of them said, all right, well, let's just cancel the season.
Right.
Like makes me know that they have plenty of money to
Right.
just say,
It's almost
forget
like
it,
this
maybe
isn't
to
even
this
a
season
thought.
and next season and the
Right.
season after. Like we
To
can
them.
cancel 3 seasons and we'll still be good because we are billionaires.
Right.
it's really bad.
So
Baseball is
it-
not doing.
The fact that they're
Right.
just okay with just giving up on the season is
Right.
like, that
You hate it.
sucks.
Well, speaking of baseball, like local baseball guy like Chris Duncan, you had some news about him, right, Nick?
Dunk, man. Rest
Dunks.
in peace,
Rest
Chris
in peace,
Duncan.
Chris
Rest in
Duncan.
peace,
Such
Chris
a
Duncan.
Was
such
it brain?
a
Was it brain cancer?
yeah, man.
And his
Damn.
mom also.
Also, his mom just passed away. You got to have love for ex pitching coach Dave Duncan. That was his wife and his kid, and Shelly Duncan out there, man. Such a good dude. He's a hilarious guy. Follow him on Twitter if you guys want. But they just did a little fundraiser for Chris Duncan. It was his birthday a couple weeks ago. And they, you probably heard on 101 ESPN and stuff, but they sold these Dunctionary T-shirts with just all the Dunkisms. If you ever listen to 101
Yeah.
ESPN with
He was
Duncan,
good. He was
He's a
so
good
good.
guy.
just a
I
funny,
like Chris
He's a good guy.
funny dude,
Yeah.
man, and so integral in our championship too. That was 06 when he was
06.
popping
Yeah.
bombs, crushing bombs. Like he was a huge part of that team. He might not have been able to catch a fly ball with grace, but
Right.
he knocked that ball out of the park, man. And they did a Dunctionary T-shirt, and I bought one, and I'm gonna wear it soon. When I get it, I'm wearing it. I'm gonna show you guys how awesome it is.
Very cool.
And they actually were happy to announce that from the sales of this shirt, they're going to donate almost $14,000 to the Chris Duncan Memorial Scholarship
cool.
Fund.
That's
Love
awesome.
it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So that all went down. His birthday was, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and it was kind of just like a birthday week celebration all over for him because damn, we miss that dude.
Yeah.
What an awesome guy, Chris Duncan.
Chris Duncan was
Very
a good dude, man. He really was, and it's sad that he is not with us anymore because
39. Was he 39?
he was a guy that
passed
you
away, I think,
Yeah, he was a guy that you couldn't.
this last year.
You literally couldn't. Find a better guy than him, man.
You're right.
And he became such a figure on local radio, like
Right.
just a hilarious dude. Started on the fast lane, went to
He was a fun guy on
the
the
afternoon
radio.
shows with Stalter, and those were just some of the funnest things. They still play clips from just the hilarious
Things
stuff
he
that came
said.
out of his mind,
Yeah.
man. And that's why I'm excited to get the shirt with all his
Right.
Dunkisms on the back that just reminds you of the things he said, man. Shout out to you,
Yeah.
Chris Duncan. We miss you so much, dude.
Definitely. I couldn't have
We
said
miss
that
you.
better.
We miss you, baby.
So, that's the baseball news that we've got for tonight. Obviously, there's not a whole lot to talk about. And I think that if we don't play this year, then maybe that means next year that we'll have Arenado.
Sure would
Yep.
be nice, though.
Is that
That's what I've heard.
Is that wishful
That
thinking?
would look good. It looks good to me.
It looks good to me.
Speaking,
Take Arenado.
right. Moving along here, we're going to go to the NBA real quick. They're back in Orlando. They
I felt
are.
like they pieced this together quickly, didn't they? Kind of. It's like
Seemed like it
they
came
were ready to
together
go.
You didn't hear a lot of NBA news leading up to this,
No.
Right.
And then within the last week, it's been like, all right, we're gonna come back. We're gonna go to
Got a plan.
Disney,
We're gonna go
whatever,
here.
blah blah blah, and then
And here we
boom,
go, 22 teams.
22
We're gonna be
teams.
in Orlando.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, they're going to be in Orlando. They're going to make it happen. It's going to be interesting to see how they do it because of the way that they play and that it's the no fans or whatnot. But they've got a format for it. It's coming back. It's good to see that them and the NHL are on the forefront of the sports as far as like, hey, let's get
Getting
this
it
stuff
together.
going.
A little
Making it
different
work.
and maybe a little more controversial than the NHL because they took 13 teams from the West and 9 from the East.
It's kind of different.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
I
they
mean, if
just
that's
went
by
for-
points,
If you did it by points,
then
that
that's
makes sense.
probably how it falls. But
Right.
obviously, the Eastern Conference sucks a little worse for you NBA fans out there. But let's see it.
Yeah.
Let's see it. 22
Andrew,
teams.
Andrew Vitale says he's hoping we can attend games at 25% capacity, maybe. Who knows?
Better than
Maybe-
nothing.
Maybe space
I'll
it
take
out.
it.
I would take that as well,
Right.
too. But I mean, there's light, at the end of the tunnel. Like I say, NBA is going to be back, and people are going to be able to enjoy their sports.
Right.
The NBA season,
important thing.
the firm date of return though is July 31st. So we
that.
got
That's good. You
we got to wait. We got a date.
Got a date.
Couple months away, but we've got a
Right.
date.
Take the date.
July
Right.
31st. Players get to their training camps on July 30th. Probably a couple weeks of training camp, and then here we go. Playoffs in the NBA too.
Right.
We're going right back into playoffs.
We're going right into
oh
it.
my gosh!
It's going to be, as soon as
excited.
sports come on, we're going to be like peeled
Dude.
TV, like watching.
I
it.
am pumped. I'm
I think we're
fired up.
coming up to stuff with you guys with no sports going on.
I know.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've put
Making
together
it-
17 shows now of us just manufacturing
quarantine.
quarantine sports
Manufactured
news.
sports
Let's go.
knowledge
Let's-
and
we
whatnot.
hope
Let's
you-
go sports,
we
baby.
You
hope
guys
guys
blow
are
my
enjoying
mind. I sit back in awe and I'm like, how do they know all
Fatima,
this?
thank you for joining in, sweetheart.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. We're talking some sports. We did some general talk earlier about local eateries and drinkeries and shout outs and whatnot. But thank
Sure.
you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Really quickly, we're talking about Drew Brees real quick. Did you see what happened with the whole
Yeah.
comments? I mean, I get it. I mean,
I get it.
He approached it the wrong way. He,
He
said it
did.
the wrong way.
He
We
did.
Said
you
it the
know,
wrong way.
Very sensitive time to say what he said.
he came out and he apologized.
And he did. And I
he did.
I
Now,
don't really.
Do you take
I
that
like
as
his apology.
that apology as being something that was sincere?
I take anything Drew Brees does genuinely because he's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
He's a good guy for the NFL.
But my question is did he only make that statement because of the fact that one of his teammates was upset and not happy with what he said?
I think overall everyone wasn't happy with what he said. I don't think it was just Michael Thomas.
Can we play his? Can we play
No,
his
we can't.
response?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
You want to
Yeah.
say he
I-
said the wrong thing? Yeah,
They said
he
they-
did.
I mean,
It was just kind of wrong the way he put it.
yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, it's not wrong. He's got to remember who he is.
Right.
He's got to remember that he's got to stand by his words.
Right.
Now, but his take on the whole thing is tough because he obviously is like I support good people.
Yeah.
And he's getting kind of ran over the
He's
coals because it
getting
was
pretty
seeming
taken
more
over.
self-centered as far as his comments based upon
Right.
him as opposed to the general of what's going on.
And some people are really passionate about the flag, and I totally get it. Some people don't understand what's going on right now. They just automatically think you got to be up for the flag. But you're not really taking into what's going on.
It's not about the military and
It's
about
not-
the
There's more to
the
it.
things like that.
So-
It goes way
and-
deeper.
But if you're a passionate guy, you just go, well, you need to stand up and respect the flag. Well, you're not really seeing what's going on.
Right.
So you've got to, he probably should have just kept it to himself. But he got passionate about it, and
Yeah.
it kind of burned him.
it's a touchy
Well,
subject.
Andrew Vitale
Right now.
makes a good point here. He says, just keep your mouth shut, Drew. He goes, you can't unring a bell.
Unfortunately,
He also
I
says,
agree.
either you use your platform to make a change or you keep quiet.
That's it.
I agree.
Especially if you've got
It's good. It's well
millions
said.
of followers, whatever you have.
Right.
You're the
And I
biggest
love Drew
platform there.
Brees, but I get where everyone else is coming from.
Yeah.
It's not. It just wasn't.
And shout out
it
to
wasn't right.
Crosby and McDavid and all
Yeah.
these hockey players also just coming out with statements. Like
Yep.
your full team might not be coming out with statements, but the individual players that recognize that there's a problem and there needs to be a change. I just kept
been
getting
speaking
updates
up.
all day of
That's
players,
good.
personally
Right.
putting that out there. So
Oh, that's good. That's good.
that's
Very
it's where
cool
it
with,
starts, man.
Blackout Hockey Club. They got together with Evander Kane,
I saw that.
so I sent that to you. So
Yeah.
I actually am going to buy a scarf. I think tomorrow.
Dude, that's
Okay.
awesome.
Pre-sale, so it's going to be like a activism scarf. So it's pretty cool that
Nice.
they got together with Evander Kane.
That's so
So-
awesome. Shout out to
Very shout out. Definitely Blackout Hockey
BlackoutHockeyClub.com.
Club.
Get some.
Definitely get one of them scarves.
Shout out to Evander Kane and bringing racism
Very
to the
cool.
forefront in NHL and just the practices and everything.
Yep.
And shout out to Blackout Hockey Club for supporting him.
Absolutely.
and
Yeah.
The whole West Coast, man.
No doubt, man. That's some special stuff.
Very cool.
Speaking of some other special stuff, Ryan O'Reilly granted a wish for a 3-year-old boy who's battling a kidney
Gosh,
disease.
damn, I love that
As if
guy.
you
Love
couldn't,
that
as if he
guy.
couldn't be any cooler, man. Ryan
It's
O'Reilly
impossible.
goes out and does something,
Finds a
and
way.
totally redeems. No, totally redeems. But no, Ryan O'Reilly.
Dude.
You're awesome, dude. Thank you so
Such a
much.
dude.
You made a kid's day who was in a
Unbelievable,
bad
Ryan
situation. He got signed autograph pucks. He couldn't be there, obviously, because of all the scare of what's going on. So he had to do like a Zoom meeting and actually conferenced in and made this 3-year-old's day, and it's a really special
So
thing.
awesome.
Check it out; it's out there on the interwebs. You can take a look at it, and I think you might even be able to see them talk. But it's pretty.
Do you
it's pretty
think
emotional.
whether
thing.
we sign Petrangelo or not, we might just make O'Reilly the captain anyway?
I mean, how can
Probably.
I mean, come on.
yeah,
Dude.
probably. We'll see.
it's hard.
The leader of leaders, the
hard
most
not to.
heart we've
Love
ever
that
had on
guy.
this team, from
beautiful.
beginning to end.
So-
So awesome.
There's some other controversy that's out there I want to talk about.
Oh boy,
So Ahmad Hicks, you know about this?
I don't.
let's talk a little bit
So
more about it.
Ahmad Hicks is upset with the Blues and Cardinals statement. Did you see that? It was a joint
I
statement.
joint
didn't
statement.
actually see it.
All right. So basically, the Blues made a comment, and Ahmad Hicks was not happy with the way that it worked out. Okay. Here's the actual thing. If I can get to it, already subscriber. Anyways, they came out and made a pretty touching thing as far as that goes, and the article was neat. Oh, hold on, let me turn my pop-up blocker off because it's not letting me see it. There we go. I just got a virus probably from this. There we go. All right, it says this was the comment that the Cardinals and that the Blues released. It says the St. Louis Blues and St. Louis Cardinals stand united in support of racial equality for all and with those who march peacefully to highlight and protest racism, bigotry, and violence. There is no place for intolerance in our society. We also stand with those who work every day to better society and with those who honorably wear the uniform as they protect and serve all of us. We will continue to work together as one nation and ask that all of our supporters join us in redoubling our efforts to give back to the support to the community that we love. Now, let me ask you guys a serious question right now.
Right.
Were you offended by that statement? Nick, go ahead. Give me your thoughts.
Well,
did-
as a white American human being, no, but I can't really say that I've seen this yet and thought about it too much, and I can't speak for everybody. So,
Sure,
personally,
Right.
But let me rephrase the question.
I don't really know.
Do you
if that's
feel like
offensive.
that they address the fact that there is racism, bigotry, and violence going on
so
that they don't condone?
in support of racial equality for all? I mean, let's be honest. There's one demographic race that's getting hammered the worst right now.
Sure.
So that's like screaming all lives matter basically, and people aren't really trying to hear that right now. Like,
Well, I understand.
a lot of lives have mattered for a long time, and
Right.
and then there's one thing going on right now. I don't know. Am I offended
Mark,
by this?
what do you think?
No.
Are you offended by this statement?
I am. I think both of them are in a tough. They're trying to be supportive of one. They're trying to be supportive of police officers and things like
Right.
that. I think they're trying to stay in the middle. I don't think that's something you have to take a shot at, but I also am not affected as much as what's going on.
Sure.
So maybe I'm not reading it the same way.
Well,
someone
it's
who
not
is
fair
affected.
too because I didn't give you the full details of the article. I'm just kind of
Right.
throwing this and asking you questions because I'm curious. Remember, what do you think about that? Are you offended, or do you think they kind of address it and address it appropriately, being Cardinals and Blues, of saying that they stand in support of racial equality?
I mean, even racial words only carry as much power as you give it. You know,
Right, but
I think they're trying to stay neutral. I mean, it's
Yeah,
really
okay.
That's what I get.
you can
So
go
you're-
either way. It's
so
like,
you're-
how
so
about
you're
the
getting
fact that when you say
neutrality.
all lives matter, is that some hillbilly trying to be like, white people are important too, or is the intentions behind them saying, hey, all lives do matter?
Well, I mean,
It's not about your intentions behind
here's
it.
the deal. I mean, I
can
don't know how
take
this
it
can
any
be.
way you want.
I don't know how
Yes.
this can be any more skewed. It's
know?
all lives do matter.
All
It's just
lives
that right
are
now,
matter.
what we are focusing on is the fact that Black lives matter because of the fact of the wrongdoing to
They're
George.
they're
Right.
they're
And
handling this
and
injustice right now,
This is a consistent thing
and
that
it's been
keeps
happening
It's
for
a real
long
thing.
time.
Where's white privilege? We know this.
So here's my deal with
No,
it, right? So
thank you, Boomer.
Ahmad Hicks is upset because they didn't approach it on the forefront and they didn't come straight out and say exactly what it was. And like you guys were saying, that he felt like it was more of a neutral statement. But here's where I stand on this, because I mean, I don't stand for racism, and I can tell you
Absolutely
that
not.
the farthest
Yeah.
from that,
Right.
right? So, in the grand scheme of things, when I read this article to hear that he is upset, I get it. Like Ahmad Hicks
Right.
is upset. It's an emotional time right now
Right.
for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
But we're also talking about organizations and things that didn't even need to make a statement.
I know that's crazy.
Yeah, they could have said,
So-
as
so-
bad as it is, they could
Yeah.
have said nothing.
They could have said nothing, right?
they at least-
Well, look,
So-
everyone's catching
made
shit
it.
for saying
So-
nothing.
so here's the
also.
thing. So-
you
Saying
had to
nothing
say
is not
something.
good.
So,
No,
so
it's
here's
not.
the caveat.
Open the conversation.
You're gonna get shit for saying nothing, but
You're
then
gonna
you
get
make
shit
a
for saying it.
statement and then you
And
say
now you're in
something,
trouble.
and
You gotta
it's
make
not-
sure you say the
and
right
it's
thing.
not good enough.
Right.
Okay. So, and then what I'm getting at is that I don't think it was insensitive. I don't think it was meant to be insensitive in any way, shape, or form.
It wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be.
But it could have been
obviously,
interpreted
Ahmad Hicks,
interpreted that
it offended him, and for somebody who is going to think of it that way,
Yeah.
I can also think of that. But this is my thing to Ahmad Hicks. That's your opinion, and
Right.
they did not. That your words are not the Cardinals and the Blues words.
Yeah.
And if they were yours, then you could have worded that differently.
yeah.
Right.
But because somebody decided to come out and actually make a statement on something that they didn't even really need to do that in the first place, now it's getting scrutinized by somebody because of it. I don't think that's right, and I think Ahmad is in the wrong here whenever it comes to this, because now it's becoming more of a self-centered thing as far as going after them for something.
Right.
They did.
Am I wrong?
He does
No,
make
you
a
have a
good
good
point.
point.
You make a good point, but he also makes just a good point saying they didn't include George Floyd or Black Lives. They just
No, they said
relegate to
racial
all
equality.
lives.
It's racial equality. They don't need to. So, and that could be too political from a standpoint of the St. Louis Blues and the Cardinals of not wanting to bring an individual into their statement.
I think it was trying to be neutral.
You have a PR
More of a neutral
person.
statement.
You have a PR person that is going to approve this. Okay.
Oh, yeah, for
from
sure.
the Cardinals and the Blues.
Someone saw this
So
first,
Ahmad,
too.
for someone who does articles and does stuff for the news, you should know this
Right.
stuff.
Sorry.
So
This
I mean,
wasn't
I get
just
it.
like, here you go.
And I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of teams have came out with full on just Black Lives Matter statements, like what's happening now, and other teams have not, have just kind of beat around the bush a little.
Yeah.
And we're not. St. Louis Blues
Be a
Cardinals
noun.
conjoined is
Right.
not the only one.
Be a noun,
So-
not an adjective.
But we see from both sides, I guess, right? When it comes down to
Right.
it.
Justin Jacobsmeyer says, sounds like they are in support of both groups, police and people oppressed. And I agree with you, Justin. I think that's where they were coming off at. And,
Right.
and that's their fine line, because they're not going to disown people because of the actions, obviously, of this one guy. Right. And I agree with that as well, too. Kind of like your things that were saying that they needed to defund the police. I don't agree
Those
with
signs
that
were, yeah,
because of the
just,
fact that
you
we
know.
have this one crazy guy that's a police officer that does this.
Right.
Now, that's a whole nother statement here.
Right.
And then Andrew Vitale says, it's like Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's not like all the other cancers aren't bad. We're focused on the police brutality against blacks, so it needs to be addressed, right? So I get that. It makes sense to me, right? But to
does.
me, it was one of those things where I think that Ahmad was talking more off of emotion as opposed to rational thought.
Which are a lot of people are.
Yes.
They said
That's,
you're right.
emotions are high.
Right.
So
A neutral statement when in his eyes it should have been fully towards one side.
Right.
Right.
And just fully
who's-
front. And that's where I think he was
That's
upset
your
about that.
opinion,
Right.
and these are our opinions, and
Right.
everyone's got their own opinion. So
right.
Right. And then Andrew also says he doesn't think that the statement was bad. So yeah, I agree.
wasn't- it
I
wasn't.
agree.
shout out to Ahmad. You're doing good writing. Maybe up until this time.
We also have some NHL stuff that we're going on here as NHL odds. So pull up those odds for us real quick, Nick.
Okay.
We also wanted to do a bracket challenge. Anybody that wants to have some fun with us, we're going to write up a bracket. So we're planting the seed.
Guys,
you
excited
guys
for
will be
that.
able to turn them in to us, send them to us via email, and then we're going to do a little giveaway for potentially who has the best bracket at the end.
Yeah.
And,
We'll put it up as like a JPEG or something, so it's a print outable thing for you guys. You can print it out. You can maybe take a screenshot of it, send it
And
to
send
us.
it to
We
us.
want to get you guys involved in this too. That'd be so much fun to just get a full-on bracket NHL challenge going for all you hockey fans out there. Maybe a nice prize for the first, second, and third place finishers out there. You never know. We'll see. We're working on something. Hopefully, you guys are into it.
Pull up those odds real quick. Let's take a look and see what we got. Because originally we got some fake news.
Should I put up the
that
fake
one
ones
time
first?
version.
That was definitely fake news.
They had
That
the New York Rangers
When I looked
listed
at that,
higher
straight
than
from
the
the White
Wait a
Blues.
minute.
There's no way.
That must have been out of New York.
Yeah.
No doubt. This is.
Andrew Vitale asked why you're looking for that. He says, will the NBA and NHL champion have an asterisk?
No.
I don't think so. because even though it is changed, you're still going through a bracket and a way of determining a winner.
Look at that 24 playoff bracket.
Yeah,
It
it's
ain't
going to be
easy
fun to
get
watch.
it.
It's going to be fun to
You're
watch.
gonna have
I
to
think
play hard.
Vitali, and I'm excited because when I get to Florida, that should be when stuff's starting to ramp up. So I might be able to get to watch some hockey with you while I'm down there. So that'll be cool
you
too.
I'm having a little bit of problem. What's up, fellas?
That is what it is.
You want to just look at it and maybe just talk about it?
Sure, we can talk about it.
That's the original.
So this is the original one that they had. This
It's
is the
almost
one
so
that was-
ridiculous.
This
like,
was ridiculous.
There's no
So
point in talking about it. So we might
I'm just going to rattle it real quick.
All right, let's hear what you guys think.
This
about
was this was the fake news that they had. It's pretty funny. It's got Tampa Bay, Washington, Colorado,
Okay.
Boston, New York Rangers,
Then the Rangers
Now
are in
that's
fifth.
that's where I stopped and was like, wait a minute.
St. Louis Blues,
the 11th
Philadelphia
place overall
Flyers,
team.
Las Vegas, Toronto, Edmonton, Vancouver, Nashville, Minnesota, Florida, Pittsburgh, Carolina, and Winnipeg.
So we just breezed through that because it's actually ridiculous. And if
It's
you
a
want to
joke.
slow down what Kyle just said and listen to what he just said, it's ridiculous. So
Yes.
here's the non-fake news. Here's
So,
the odds. Here's the
these are
odds. Stanley Cup winning odds.
These are the Stanley Cup winning odds here. You have the Boston Bruins that are at 11-2 odds, so they're the ones that are projected to win in this. They just have a solid team. I get it.
I can't say I fully disagree with that.
Now I disagree with
I
this one.
disagree with this one.
This was the Vegas Golden Knights at number 2.
Wow.
I don't see Vegas being at a number 2 from a odds perspective. I don't understand.
Now
where
is
they
that
get
because
Home
Vegas
field
might
or
be
home-
a home rink?
That
Rank
could
advantage.
be.
Maybe that's what it is.
But has that even been? Have we figured out where
No.
we're playing?
No, I don't
we
think
haven't.
that's set in stone.
So
yet, where
once
it's
the
gonna
rinks
be.
are chosen, then maybe the odds will change again.
possibly?
know.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is 13-2 odds. St. Louis Blues are 8-1 odds.
Fourth.
And we're fourth. Yeah, the Capitals are 8-1, same tied as us. It's nice knowing that they compare us as like Washington. Washington's a good team.
I'll
We're
take
a good
that.
team. Colorado Avalanche 17-2 odds. Philadelphia Flyers 12-1.
Your Flyers, man.
Dallas Stars, 15-1 odds there, and then Pittsburgh Penguins are 15-1, and then the Oilers and the Predators and Toronto Maple Leafs are all 25-1 odds.
Yep.
Then the Coyotes, Flames, Rangers are 40 at 40-1 odds, and then the Hurricanes and the Vancouver Canucks are 50-1 odds.
What did you say? The Blackhawks?
The Chicago Blackhawks.
They're probably
I had to
1%
go down this
or
one
under.
here.
Chicago is 100 to 1.
So wait a minute, we've got the couple other. The Columbus Blue Jackets, Florida Panthers, Minnesota Wild, and the New York Islanders are all 60-1 odds, and then the Chicago Blackhawks and Montreal Canadiens are 100-1 odds.
So these are the sleepers. You've been hearing.
So
the,
you're telling me there's a chance.
You've been hearing the
you're saying
analysts.
there's a
The
chance.
analysts out there talking about Chicago maybe being fully healthy and maybe just getting that win and doing what they've done 3 times before and stealing a championship out there.
We talked about this.
So you betters out there, you gamblers out
nothing
there,
to
you might wanna
lose. You got
Throw a
nothing to
bet
lose.
out there on the Blackhawks.
Right.
Although I wouldn't. Screw the Blackhawks.
Yeah. Well, hey, those are some fun odds, guys. We're doing we're gonna do a bracket. We're gonna do something fun for a giveaway.
challenge.
Yeah.
We will be.
We'll
more
post
to
it on our
come.
group or on our page if you
Right.
haven't liked it or follow the page. So that way you guys can find out whenever we go live. We do giveaways. We've done Antonino's Pizza. We've done Bar Tab.
Donner tonight.
Missy Donner's giveaway tonight for the Manny Petty for the puppy.
Thank you guys so much for the donation.
So
Thank you,
all this
thank
stuff
you.
has been going
It
on.
can be a
so-
full-grown dog, not just a puppy.
Right. Yeah, she's not
Any type of
prejudiced
dog.
to the adult dogs. But no, hey, we have some fun stuff we wanted to talk about here.
Yeah.
So, sports movies. Favorite sports movies. Okay. You can think of some off the top of your head and probably go around the table and say some. I'm going to start this one off with just one that I remember as being a hockey influencer for me.
Yes.
Was Youngblood.
That's a great movie.
There's a fantastic Rob
And
Lowe.
not enough people have seen it.
No.
Honestly.
No.
Youngblood's
Rob Lowe
really
is in
good.
there, and it is a good movie. His
It is
name
really
Dean Youngblood, and it shows his trials and tribulations of getting from one team to another and then having to get the acceptance of his teammates.
It's really good.
It's so old.
It is. But it's
so
so
old.
good.
He plays ice hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob Lowe.
Oh, yeah.
Never heard of it, have you?
Wow.
Haven't seen it.
You got it.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out. Nick, what do you got? Give me one.
The Sandlot.
Dang, you took Mark's.
No, you didn't.
Just joking. I
My
might say
number
the
one.
Sandlot. For
No, you
anything.
said Sandlot, man. We got to
No.
move on.
Well, I
I'm
just
sorry.
said it because I said it last time too, and I just wanted to be
Sorry, dude.
My
you
first
burned
one.
it. No.
No,
That first one was recorded on a VHS tape. And in fact, my dad threw the VHS tape away because he said it was ruining the VCR. Because I kept playing it all the time.
from the
Which movie?
TV.
yeah.
The Sandlot?
No. Major League.
Major League
which-
is a good one.
Which made me an Indians fan because I was like 7 years old. I didn't know this wasn't who the
That's
team
why
was.
you became an Indians
Huge.
fan.
And then,
I see.
you know,
Dorn.
right after that, my dad goes, you know, this isn't the actual Cleveland team. This is the Cleveland team. And that was 94. And then the Indians got really good.
They lost the Marlins.
1995. They got really good. And they won like 100 games. And then they just went on. The Indians were so good for 6 or 7 years. They never won, but they were really good.
Wow.
And then I became an Indians fan.
Major
because of
League
that.
was great.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
was.
good.
Yeah. Justin Jacobsmeyer points out a very good point here. In Youngblood, I believe Patrick Swayze was also in it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Rob
yes, he
Lowe and
was.
Patrick
Patrick
Swayze
Thank you
playing
so much,
hockey.
Justin,
What a
for that. That
lineup.
is a
That's a
fantastic.
good one.
Sounds amazing.
Boomer, you got a sport movie of your childhood?
I
you can
mean, I'll
remember?
say Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks.
Thank
I'll
you,
also say
Boo.
I mean-
Slapshot.
Slap shots.
Slap
That's a good one too.
Slap shots.
So-
good.
Major League, yes.
All
Charlie
right.
I mean,
Sheen.
I
So,
loved it.
all right.
Rick
hold
Vaughn.
on here.
Wow.
TJ actually throws out Rudy would be his
Great
favorite.
movie.
That's a good call out. And I wore the
movie.
Rudy shirt for my friend
Varsity
Eric, who's
Blues?
also a huge
Varsity
fan.
Blues.
Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. We're
Guys,
going
come
around
on.
the table
Off the
here. Shit.
We have a
You just
talking
took-
stick.
Kyle was about to say Varsity Blues.
I literally just want to try to go around the table, but you guys just are having so much fun. You just can't help yourselves.
You don't even know where my
outrageous.
pants are right now.
Mark didn't have pants on last week.
Yes.
The answer for all you clamoring, we
There
got
was,
so
there
many
was a haunting
emails.
aroma.
So many emails about who wasn't wearing pants.
There was
The
a
answer
smell.
was
There was a smell. It was Mark
Get used to that.
and Buster.
Scent.
it's been that week for a few weeks.
So,
That week for a few weeks.
so now that it's my turn, guys.
Sorry, Kyle.
Basketball is one of my favorite movies of all times. And it is a sport that they actually created, obviously, that is a combination between two.
Basketball.
Trey Parker, Matt
Good
Stone,
one.
you can't get any better than that.
No.
I mean, it's a quotable movie. It
That's a
stands the test of
rewatchable one.
time.
So
You can
quotable.
watch it
It's
still
so
to
good.
this day. Yes.
I would love to watch basketball.
What do you got?
now.
Nick? Give me another one.
Pass.
Did you say Varsity Blues?
Yes.
Yeah, you said
Pass.
Varsity Blues.
Yes, I did.
He's gonna pass. Go ahead. Give us one.
Pass. I have two.
Partly, I love Kurt Russell. I thought he was amazing in it. I think Miracle.
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 really
That's
good.
on my
It's
list.
really
Watch
well
Miracle
done.
again.
Miracle on Ice, right?
Miracle
Makes you happy.
is
It
amazing.
is Miracle. That was the
I
name
think it's
of the
just
movie.
Miracle.
Miracle.
Right?
Yeah.
Miracle.
Yeah. Andrew Vitale says A League of Their Own. His
That's a good movie.
his
I
was gonna
girlfriend
say
says
that.
A League
That
of
is
Their Own.
good.
Because we're the
Love the League of
members
Their
of
Own.
the All-American team. We come from Sid. I could do the whole song.
Hey, cowgirl, see
We
the
got
grass, don't eat it.
Canadians, Irish, and we're all for one, we're all for all, because we're American. Woo!
I loved when Tom Hanks
Do-do-do-do.
smoked
Yeah.
that little boy in the face
Yes.
with a glove.
Got him.
Was it Ricky Lake's son or Madonna's? Whose son was it?
It was some little someone.
Hey, cowgirl, see the grass, don't eat it. John Lovitz.
Dude, that's
Oh,
hilarious.
John Lovitz as
Lovitz
the
is so
scout
good.
was that what he was? Oh, that was a great.
Doesn't that hurt
movie.
them? They're milking the cow.
Dude. Hey, we're blowing up from the comments.
Bruce
section.
Allen.
I'm gonna say Steve Perry.
Steve Perry. Steve Perry. What do we got here? We got
We love basketball.
Justin Jacobsmeyer says Raging Bull, which is a great
That's a
one.
good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that down on my list as well too. Thank you.
How about? Can I go again?
After Courtney Houston throws out Field of Dreams.
I was gonna say that, Courtney.
Courtney,
Great.
good call.
We actually
Call.
watched it. I watched it last night.
A fun
What?
fact.
Did you? Nice.
Fun fact: this year, if there would have been a baseball season, there was going to be an actual Yankees versus I forget, maybe White Sox game, a whole weekend played at the Field of Dreams in Iowa.
Yes.
White
Sox versus Yankees.
White Sox versus Yankees. They brought in lights. They brought in
Yep.
stands to
3,000 stands, I
Three
believe.
to 4,000 people, I believe.
I heard the
at the
tickets were
actual Field
outrageous.
of Dreams in Iowa.
Yeah.
And that's not going to happen, which sucks. But would have been just an incredible event. Let's redo that.
So we have Hoosiers. Gene Hackman is amazing by Rick Boyer. Thank you, Rick, for tuning in.
Blue
My
Chips.
dad's favorite movie of all
Yeah.
time is Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Anyone liked Blue Chips?
Blue Chips was good with Shaq.
Shaq
Yeah.
and Nick Nolte was the coach, I think.
Anthony Hardaway. Yeah.
I loved Blue Chips actually.
Space
Shaq
Jam.
actually
It's
called.
Just
Shaq
watched
actually
Space Jam
called
the other night.
Orlando.
I did too.
It
A
was
week
like,
ago.
this Penny Hardaway guy, you got to like go get him. You need to draft him because they were just practicing together for the movie, and Anthony hadn't been drafted yet. And like,
Yeah.
this guy's giving me the ball every time. You've got to pick Hardaway.
Yeah.
He just learned the way he played ball through the movie.
Well,
Anthony Hardaway is not drafted,
he
during
hadn't been
Blue Jays?
drafted yet. He was coming up in the draft, and Shaq was already on Orlando.
and the way he passed to him
Shaq
during
like
the
called
movie.
the GM, was like, okay,
We already have
we gotta call
chemistry.
this guy. He's giving me the ball every time. This guy's going to make us better.
That's amazing.
They ended
If
up
we have
getting Anthony
Hollywood
Hardaway.
chemistry,
Blue
we
Chips
have
was a great
NBA
movie.
Yeah.
chemistry.
How about that?
I, Tanya, the figure skating
Dude,
one.
have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
God.
The mom is awesome in it. She's
Hey.
so good.
Andrew Vitale quotes only
She's brutal.
Hey, 364 more days until hockey tryouts. Happy Gilmore for sure. And then Justin Jacobsmeyer says, Tom Hanks autographs a kid's card. Avoid the clat, Jimmy Dugan.
My favorite part was when you scratch your balls for an hour.
David,
Forget
no,
about
hey,
that movie. It's really good.
we have Happy Gilmore for
Yeah.
movie and
She was-
Eastbound and
she
Down for a show. We have
was about to say
Moneyball. We also
Moneyball
Moneyball
have,
was great.
That was good.
Justin Jacobsmeyer says Days of Thunder.
You
That
gotta,
is a
hey,
great
Tom,
thing.
You ain't got
Cole-
balls to pass me on the
Cole
outside.
Trickle?
Cole Trickle, yeah.
Cole
Tom
Trickle.
Trickle.
Come on,
What about
Matt.
Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the
Rookie
Year.
of the
What
Year is
about
a good
Little Big League?
Little Big-
Hey,
Little
funky
Giants.
butt loving.
Little
Did he
Giants.
say funky
Yeah.
butt
Did
loving?
you say funky butt?
Little Giants.
That's a
Little
great
Giants.
one. Yeah.
Just watched that. Also, Ladybugs with Jonathan Brandis
That's a good one.
and Rodney
That's a good one.
Dangerfield.
Dangerfield.
That's a classic.
Ladybugs did have I watched that plenty of times.
could do
It was a good movie
Caddyshack.
It
back
was
in the day.
before its time.
Caddyshack?
There was a
Yeah,
trans.
dude,
there was-
Caddyshack.
there was
Golf?
trans before its time.
The Natural,
The
The Natural. Yeah.
Yep.
10 Cup.
10 Cup was a good movie. That was a good
Caddy.
movie.
You said Kitch's
Oh,
Caddyshack.
hey, The Replacements.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good movie.
The Longest Yard.
Good one.
Maybe
Unnecessary
that's a good one. Another
Roughness.
Adam Sandler.
Did we already say Bull Durham?
Bull
No.
Durham.
That's a good one.
That is a
Longest
good one.
yard. It's been a while.
Tom Selleck.
That had Chris Rock.
Bull Durham.
Mr. Baseball.
Yeah,
the remake.
Mr. Baseball. Mr. 3000
Terry
too.
Crews
3000.
selling cheeseburgers.
Man, we're blasting them all off
The
here. Look.
Goon.
There's
The
so-
Goon.
the Goon
with
Stifler's
Stifler, yeah.
Stifler's son or whatever.
yeah.
Stifler and
Kicking
Sean
and-
William Scott.
Yes, Courtney Houston kicking and screaming does count. That is a fantastic
Oh,
movie.
love Will
That is pretty
Ferrell.
funny.
That was funny.
That was
What a
good.
Goofball, Will Ferrell.
good job,
The
babe.
Big Green we got
The
out
Big
here.
Big Green, another movie recently watched with Hamilton Porter as the goalie. Remember when he would visualize
Larry.
the teams that were coming down? They were playing the Knights, so they turned into Knights on it. They kicked the ball. And,
That's
Big
awesome.
Green. So much. so
Remember
many
the
memories.
Titans?
That's a good one.
Nick actually called that out.
Dog.
We Are
Calling
Marshall.
that. We Are
was a
Marshall's
good
another
one.
good one as
Oh,
well.
Marshall.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know
Ooh,
what?
Mystery Alaska.
Mystery Alaska was
There's
a
a-
good
there's
one.
a
That was the
drop.
one
That's
I
a
couldn't
good
think
one.
of. Russell
Yeah,
Crowe
Russell
was
Crowe.
in that.
Oh,
Yes.
That was a good one.
And then let's see what else. I feel like there's a big one that we are not naming right now. That is a sports movie.
Oh, I'm sure there's
Are you holding
so
out on
many.
this?
I'm not. I actually am not.
I'm
I
sure
was
there's
trying
so
to
many.
dig here.
But
I'll tell you-
fever pitch, I guess, would work
Fever
because that's
Pitch
baseball
and-
to an
This
extent.
is
Oh,
this
what
is-
was the one kid with Brendan Fraser?
The Scout.
The Scout.
That's
Yeah,
another one.
That's another one.
one movie
Bad
that
News Bears,
One,
I guess.
one Bad News Bears, good one.
you
One
dropped that
hilarious movie with just a
The newer
baseball
one or
scene.
older one?
Hey.
An older one was Naked Gun. Remember when Leslie Nielsen
Oh my
was calling
God.
Yeah,
Reggie-
Colin Stryker.
Reggie Jackson was in there.
Yeah, yeah.
OJ was in that.
Yeah.
A lot of sports
he was the
ties in
Yes.
that
sleeper
movie.
When he puts the gun
Yeah.
together and it's a tank. Like,
Derek
York
Munster.
Bird.
Oh, classic.
Derek Munster says Bad News Bears.
Yeah, I
got it.
Original
that
with Walter Matthau.
Oh, yeah.
We actually
Excellent.
quoted a little while ago, Derek. You might get an appreciation of this. Grumpier old men.
yeah. You got a Mountner is what
You know,
I said. I'm like,
yeah, and I go,
movie.
and I think the quote was, "I've met a lot of women in my day, but there is only a few I'd like to mount over my fireplace." I remember being young and hearing him say that and be like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome."
I remember when Walter Matthau passed away. I was so sad.
Oh,
Just such
Yeah.
a love
Him and
that
Jack
guy.
Lemmon
Hey.
died within like a year or
dude,
two.
hey, feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Come on, boys, it's about that time.
Yes.
baby.
Hey, Andrew and
Oh,
TJ
good
both
call.
had
That's a good one.
Good call.
We have Blindside, 8 Men Out. We already talked about Major League, Rick
Great.
Boyer, but good call on
Great
that as well
movies.
too.
Yep.
Damn, so many.
Well, you know what? Though?
Thank you
Here's-
guys
so many
for,
good
for
ones.
reminding us.
That is awesome. Thank you. Keep
Does
putting them up
bowling
in the
count?
comments,
Keep them
guys.
coming.
What's
What'd
that?
you say?
Does bowling count?
Sure, Kingpin can be
Kingpin.
thrown in there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So there was some other stuff that we wanted to talk about. And I think this is how we want to end the show tonight.
Blades of Glory.
Mark,
Yeah.
shared that's hilarious. Mark, you shared the our video last week that
Right.
broke, or well, was maybe is it 5,000 views? I don't know. Someone check for us.
We are close. If
we're
not,
close. We're almost
close
to 5,000
enough.
views.
Gotta be
Thank you so
closer.
much for
But
that, y'all.
you actually shared us in a group, and you said you had like 15 to 20 people that
Dude,
wanted to
it was
share
so
their
cool.
moment.
Now, granted, this isn't a shot or anything, but I went to like a NHL Legends group and just kind of added myself and put our podcast and put what made you a hockey fan, and it just 50 comments later, people talking about living in Saskatchewan, playing on ice out there in a pond, and then people going to the old Forum in Montreal, going to games against the Maple Leafs, and talking about the Chicago arena, what it was like, how loud it was. And I hear Brett Hall talk about that.
Yeah.
Brett Hall talks about, before a playoff game, they were looking up and they had two dolls that was Hall and Oates hanging by their neck from the top of the building. And Oates looked at Hall and goes, how cool is that? They want us to die tonight. That's so awesome. So
That's funny.
just hearing Stephen Rigney he actually added himself to our group. I thought it was so
Thank you
cool
for the
that he was
support.
Shout out,
involved. Thank
Steven.
you.
Thank you.
The stories are so neat. Everyone, where they came up as a hockey fan,
So
it
awesome.
struck a lot of people back to where it first came. It
Right.
did for me.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
Thought it was awesome.
So many
Here-
stories
here-
started popping up.
Here's another thing, because I didn't really get to go into full detail last
No.
time, but one of the things, you found out about how I become a hockey fan, right? You're playing street hockey, and my mom was like soccer and basketball and baseball and all this stuff, and it was like hockey wasn't even on the list. But we played so much street hockey, we kind of graduated into that, right? I will tell you
Hockey's
that
expensive.
it is.
Yeah.
It is expensive, especially back then.
And
grab a
and to be a
soccer ball.
goalie,
Right.
to be a goalie, I
Right,
remember
yeah,
I
right.
told my dad I wanted to play hockey.
Yeah.
And he was just like, okay, well, I'll go see what it is, what
So-
it costs. And then he came back with a basketball. He goes, signed you up for basketball at St. Francis. I'm like,
Forget about hockey.
thanks, Dad.
I'll
Boom,
tell you.
there I go.
Courtney says she thinks that we hit 5K. That's awesome. I hope that's the thing.
Heyo.
But let me throw this out there real quick. So I remember being at the old arena. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Love that place.
Now,
The
if
floor shook.
you remember the old arena, it really had like the seats that kind of went up, and then
like you were
at
right
a
back.
certain, if you were at a certain point,
got it.
you could actually step over your seat and then step down from like a 4-foot concrete embankment
Man.
to get to the concession stands. Okay.
Love that
So,
place.
Matthew,
barn, baby.
Matthew Shelton, my cousin, my brother was there as well too. I was there with my grandpa Hillman, and he actually watched us. He was like, "Hey, he was going to buy us all a soda or something like that, or had to go to the bathroom." So we're like, "Yeah, no problem." It was the middle of a playoff game. It was Chicago Blackhawks, St. Louis Blues. It couldn't have been a better setup.
Might have been the
right?
same one I was at.
And I jump over and drop down. Matt jumps over and drops down. My brother jumps over and drops down. My grandpa jumps over and just absolutely eats it and shatters his knee. Okay.
Oh, man.
So, I mean,
You
he's.
didn't grab his hand. You didn't help him. You didn't.
So, I
assist
mean,
him at all,
well, of
or-
course I did, Nick. What kind of insensitive thing is that? You think I just left my
I thought
grandfather
you were just,
laying on
"Hey,
the ground in pain?
Hop down here. Come on."
Jiminy Christmas.
Red hair don't care.
No, so dude, no,
That was
so my grandfather who's no longer with us, rest in peace, Grandpa Hillman. He acted like almost nothing even happened. Like stood up, like
So old school.
oh yeah, you know.
I'm all right.
away
Don't
from
worry
me.
about
And
it.
then, but
Don't
then
touch me.
he'd try to step on, try to step on his knee, and then he couldn't do anything. So we realized he couldn't move. So we had to stand there and stabilize him. He ended up they come and take him, and it was,
jeez.
they had to take him away and take him to a hospital because he shattered his knee.
Yeah.
And they brought him down to the area where the players were at because they had to get him to the ambulance that's waiting. And I remember, I'll never forget the story. He told me after he was like, back home in the wheelchair. He was like, man, he goes, it was right at the intermission. And he goes, and the players came walking by, and he goes, Chris Chelios was this close to me, I could have punched him in the nose. I never forgot that. I never forgot that to this day. It was a very cool story. It was tragic
That
that
is
my
awesome.
grandfather shattered his knee and really hurt himself. But like honestly, it was one thing I can tell you about that man. It's like he didn't show pain. Like he wasn't. Maybe it was because we were his grandkids and he didn't want to. He didn't want to look.
Pour
weak in
some
front of us.
tussin on it.
They
Yeah,
were
you know,
just
it
a
was
lot-
just
they were a lot tougher.
It was a very, very crazy moment. I'll never forget it. And
That's a beautiful story.
yeah, it was definitely something that
very cool.
that reminds me of the arena that we don't have anymore for sure.
The fact that
And my
punching
grandfather.
Chris Chelios came
Yeah.
over the
I
fact
can't
that he
remember.
shattered his knee.
It might
was
have been.
just
It might have been
beautiful.
Chelios and Ronick. I couldn't
Both.
remember.
Probably not. Why not
he had
punch them
said,
both?
Yeah, he had said that.
I mean,
about
at that point, that's kind of what Chicago was. But
Yeah.
a lot of this, I found out that we had to pay. I think we got the franchise through Chicago and Detroit, the owners, because they own the Checker Dome. Mm-hmm. So they had this big building that they needed something to go there, and the Blues ended up being it. But we had to pay them back for the franchise. So there's an actual documentary if you get on about where the Blues got their franchise, and Brian Sutter talks about how we couldn't get players because we were paying back, Chicago and Detroit for giving us the franchise.
Right.
They
So
fleeced
during the
us.
80s, they basically took, our concession, things like that. So the Blues weren't going to compete as well.
We still
and
went
think
on
about that. Till 1989 or 88, we finally paid them off.
Yeah.
And they put the check back in the Checker Dome, and then the Blues kind of had their chance to get players.
Yeah.
Brian
We went on
Sutter talks about how they didn't have the money. They were paying back for the franchise they got.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty
Pretty
cool.
cool.
We
Pretty
still went
crazy.
on a 20-year streak of making the playoffs every
Yeah.
year, though, for
Yeah.
a minute there, right?
But there
Like,
during
through
the
that.
80s, it was really tough. Brian Sutter's like, we couldn't compete
they
with
were
these teams.
stuck.
Yeah.
We didn't
It's
have
crazy
the means to do it.
Yeah.
So if
Not
you can
know
actually pull up the documentary on YouTube, Brian Sutter talks about it. I don't know exactly what it's called. It has to do with, it was on ESPN or NHL on NBC. It was a Wednesday night rivalry.
Okay.
They did like a 30-minute segment on the Blues and Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And Brian Sutter talks about
What a
it.
great
Like,
rivalry, though.
great rivalry.
Classic.
It
And
goes
Detroit.
back. And the fact that
So we owed Chicago and Detroit.
unfortunately, that's how we got
That's
the franchise.
horrible.
Because they had this building that they
But it worked out.
needed to have somebody play in.
Yeah.
The
or
arena
do
was
something
the
with.
arena was awesome.
Right.
I remember
It's crazy.
seeing Vipers games. Even the
Yeah.
floor would shake.
St.
during
Louis
Viper
Storm.
games.
Yeah.
You remember the
Storm
indoor
played,
soccer
the
games
ambush
there?
played. I
To
mean,
go to those two.
Andrew,
such a beautiful place.
Andrew Vitale says that his dad took him to watch it get imploded. Wherever they went.
Well, it was all Who doesn't
It was right
remember
there by
watching on
Hampton,
Drive?
I
right?
watched it on TV.
Did Brett Hall,
44?
Yeah.
Brett
Yeah.
Hall slap a puck at it and it went down?
I think that's what happened.
That's what they did.
Yeah.
Explosive.
I think they did.
I think
Yeah.
that he ripped a shot at it and
Yep.
they blew it up simultaneously as he ripped
never-
a shot to
Yep.
make it look like the
to
Golden
make
Brett
it
took
look
it down.
like the golden.
I was at the
At
old
that point,
CSNBC
Brett Hall was
watching
doing
that.
whatever he wanted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
He's
come on.
still
now.
doing
Still
whatever he
does.
wants.
He's a legend. He
Hey,
did
what's he doing right now, do you think?
Cocaine.
beer, Bush.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't going to say it, but you
There wasn't
said
even
it.
a thought. Maybe cocaine.
Maybe that's. I'm just saying.
He's
Hopefully he's
ripping
watching
I
his
didn't want to
shirt
go
off.
straight
am.
to it. I didn't want to go
Ripping his
straight to
shirt.
it, but I mean, the guy likes to party.
No filter.
Brett Hall. The
God
Brett
love
Hall
him.
stories of playing. I mean, just listen to those stealing coach's car and disappearing for days and showing up to practice just hung over and
Going to play
no
golf
sleeping
and stuff like
days.
that during practice.
Hey,
That
what-
guy just a complete, just a beauty. Gosh damn you, Brett Hall. We love you.
What year was the
Love
old
him here.
arena imploded?
93, 94?
94.
Something like that.
Vitale asked. He said that he was really young, so he
Somewhere
wasn't sure
around
what
there.
year it was.
I remember where I watched it on. They streamed it on 2, 4,
Hall had
and
like
5.
Hall had like
those-
shorts on and
Yeah.
a Blues jersey. It was
chilling,
just
hammered.
like, what am I doing
Yeah, just
here?
hammered.
When do I
Just
shoot
He's
it?
like, "You want me to shoot it
I'm
now?"
gonna blow this fucking
Can I just
place
do it
up.
now?
Oh, I
I'm
can't
surprised
wait.
it wasn't so cheesy where they had like Oates pass the puck to him for him to just
I
rip
know.
a one timer or something like that.
83?
Was
Is that what
it
you're
8?
saying?
It was not
No,
83.
no, it was
That was the year I was
No,
born.
it was a Checker Dome from
93.
77 to 83, but
And
it's
then it-
called the Arena, so 94.
Till when?
94.
Till 94 was the
94.
implosion,
Yeah.
explosion.
So it's called the Checker Dome from 77 to
We
83.
missed that. We sure do miss that
Check
place.
back in the
Dan.
No, I'm
Checker
sorry.
Dome.
It was demolished in 1999.
99.
This is on Wikipedia, yes.
Was Wikipedia a really valid source?
I think you can just get in there and change
I
those
remember
things
Hall
yourself.
You
being in
can.
our old the 92, 93 jersey.
But it's saying
Munster,
here...
Munster says 99.
Could've been, yeah,
But
Derek
it's,
Munster.
it's saying the capacity on the right hand side up here is 94. So from 88 to 94, the capacity was 17,188.
Yeah, their people are saying 93, 94 when it was imploded.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
okay, how about
swear
this?
the,
Closed May 23rd, 1994. Demolished February 27th, 1999.
Yeah,
I wonder if
because
Hall
the Kiel
shot
Center,
puck to
the Kiel
open
Center
Kiel
opened in
Center.
Scott
96, I
Trade,
think.
Enterprise.
96 was when Kiel Center started, whatever the hell it was
Sound
called, right?
Yeah,
I think
it was Kiel Center.
So then the arena just hung around for a few years before we finally took it down. Could have
Yeah.
been 99. Yeah, I don't know.
94.
94 it was exploded.
Arena opened as the Kiel Center.
Opened in 94.
Yes.
Okay.
It was known as the Savage
Kiel
Center from
Center
2000 to
started in
2006, and
Savage
Scott
Center.
Trade from 2006
Scott Trade.
2018.
Enterprise,
Yes.
blah blah blah. It changes.
Whatever.
names,
It's
just
like
like
Riverport.
Riverport.
I'm trying to think
Hey.
of what Hall might have shot the puck at, unless it was where they were going to build the new stadium. I don't know.
Jacobsmeyer saying Hull wasn't playing on the Blues then.
Not in 99.
He would be winning cups with Detroit
Not
at
in
that point,
99,
or
but
Dallas.
he
or
shot the
whatever.
puck and blew up a building. Maybe that was something else.
Maybe that was from the comic
Maybe he
book.
just does
You
that.
guys are joking,
That
right?
was from the Golden Brett, the comic book. I've read.
Maybe that was from the comic
For
book. No,
McDonald's?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see if I can look
Derek
that up.
Munster is saying on the arena banner it says 1999. It sat vacant for years.
Yeah. It's 5 years.
Yeah, and
We
and
blew it up in '99.
Yeah.
That seems right.
Yeah, so it was 99 whenever it happened.
I was,
I mean,
I was a young
we have
freshman.
the date on it. Yeah,
I was 14. Seems about the time.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Justin
What Brett
Jacobsmeyer says Dallas, perhaps. Maybe it was a Dallas
No,
arena
definitely
that they
had a
had.
Bleachers in.
Rest in peace to the arena. We miss you.
Checker Dome.
The Checker Dome, the arena, those floors shook when it went crazy. The first game I saw with my dad was Tampa Bay Lightning, and I think it was, I don't know if it was the game where the girl goalie played Manon Rioux, who
Manon
played her
Rioux.
first game against the Blues. Might have been in Tampa though, but we definitely played the Lightning, and that's what made me love the Lightning.
That was a preseason game, by the way.
That she
when-
played
when
against.
Manon Rioux
so
played,
no,
yes.
this was a regular season game that I saw,
Yeah.
and that was
Justin
a good game.
Jacobsmeyer says Dallas was whenever Hull had the controversial goal. If that's what you mean by
That was it.
stealing the first and ever possible Stanley Cup from Dominik Hasek, then
was
yes, that is exactly the controversial goal where they had so many different in the crease penalties and regulations that year for that to be a goal and not be like goaltender's interference is one thing.
That's a beautiful thing. That is a
So
real
what was
thing.
that?
Let's put that
was
link up.
Brett, so we have
Brett
the
Hull
video.
really shoots
Okay,
the
we're
puck
gonna
link it.
into
Brett
the
Hull.
arena, and it
It's not
starts
the
coming
what I
down.
think it is. It's not the old arena. I think it's like the parking garage for where the keel was going to be. Does that
Interesting.
look like it?
We're not
Brett
sure.
Hull
It's like a
blowing
huge
up arena.
bulldozer going.
We're not sure, folks. We're gonna post the video up on the chat and let you guys have a look at it and see if you can decipher it for yourself.
Love some feedback.
26 years ago for all
Nick
of it.
actually says it was a good goal.
That was the demo. So he shot that. That blew up where the Kiel Auditorium was going to be built.
Cool video. I never.
video.
It's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah. So Hall did do it.
Brett
Yeah.
Hall.
Whether
Brett
he
Hall.
was-
and if you ask him, he probably doesn't remember. But
Probably not.
Thank you for
it.
helping demolish the city. It's a beautiful thing, Brett Hall.
So Hull demolished the area where the keel was built. Yes.
That is so awesome. That was awesome. Gosh,
I'm glad
so
we
many
got
good
to the
memories.
bottom of that and we didn't care who
it
was
was
at the top.
bugging me because I remember it. And I'm like, hold on. He shot a puck at something.
You have a sharp
and it blew
memory.
up.
You have a sharp memory for that because honestly, I could not remember that as well. But
So-
I just want to throw this out there. We are up to 822 members. We just
Oh,
broke
my.
800, so 22 people have
You
added
guys.
on since
got
last
5K.
week.
Kudos.
We also have 5K,
5K from the
5K.
on
last.
our actual video.
I'll take it. It was weak, but whatever. I don't want to knock
it
the
was
table.
the worst one
5K.
Yeah,
ever.
Don't want to hurt the pop.
Very cool, though.
Funko Pops.
5,000 views. That's
Thank
all
you
you
guys
guys. Thank
so
you so
much,
much.
man.
Now, let's not
Damn.
forget the people that are still watching with us, too. We've told earlier, if you share the video, you have a chance to win a dog pedicure, manicure, pedicure.
Manny
It's a
Petty for
free
your dog.
service from Missy
Pamper
Donner,
Pamper that dog.
who was actually the winner of our Monday giveaway. And that is the $20 bar tab and also the T-shirt to Throwbacks Bar and Grill.
We have multiple sizes too, so let us know what size you want.
Cool.
Sure,
Yeah,
Missy. Thank you so
we'll
much.
make that happen.
Congratulations and thank you.
Yes. And with
Brett
that,
Hall's mullet is hilarious in this video.
Brett Hull's mullet was not hilarious, okay? It is one that literally probably should be enshrined in the Smithsonian whenever he goes away.
We have to. We're bringing those back too.
It was like a mullet
I've got like
/ side
Partial
spike.
mullet right now.
That's
I
just
got
Mississippi
some
mudslide.
sweet flow right now with this hair.
Yarmer Yager never let it go. So I mean,
No.
I think he still has it.
He
Yeah,
curled
those-
it to make it official.
the hockey mullet. You got to have a mullet at some point in your hockey career.
I agree.
Just real quick, I just want to shout out one more time, Carmen. I want to shout out Carmen. Help us in helping the good ones. Thank you so much for putting that together. Your little service project. Just want to shout that. We shouted it out earlier. Want to shout it out again at the end of the show. Helping stlblue@gmail.com.
Very cool.
Venmo, cash donations to KARMYN 20 STL Blue. Such
Links
an
in the
awesome
comments,
thing.
guys.
Thank you so
Or
much.
not link, but the name.
Carmen, you're changing the world. Keep up what you're doing, kid.
Derek wanted you to know that it's a hullet. Not a mullet? That's awesome.
Derek Pratt.
Thank you, Derek. We appreciate that.
Derek Munster, you're the man.
Yeah, I don't have a mullet yet.
mullet.
I just have this like really crazy like
We'll get there one day, Kyle.
I have this like weird like
It's a nice
wings
flow.
from where I have like the hat
flow.
on,
You
and
got a
it just
good
it's
flow.
got a good. You can tell that the air sometimes just is just flowing straight.
I just think of Joe Dirt.
It makes me real aerodynamic when I fight.
I was born without the top of my skull.
Dude, Mike Ricci had a mullet. Says Justin Jacobsmeyer. Yes, he
Sure
did.
did. and a
Ugliest man in
horribly
He was the
ugly
ugliest
face.
man.
Poor. Yeah, he was not blessed.
Who hurt you, Mike Ricci?
Yeah,
who
poor
hurt you?
guy.
He hurt us.
He had some
San
he
Jose.
had pain in his face.
That was a President's Trophy year.
Well, hey guys, you know what? That wraps up the
Hey.
show.
Oh yeah.
It was fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Again, please share the video. We would love to get another one of these up to 5,000 views. It was like
Yeah.
2,100 views when we finished
guys
yesterday
are
on Monday.
pretty
So
cool.
You guys are amazing.
yes, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
We're gonna sign off, and we
Crazy.
will let you guys know. Hopefully, check out the group, the Facebook page, the Twitter, the Instagram. You'll find all there, and soon to come, we'll have the YouTube. We have
YouTube
to-
coming, baby.
We're coming
we
for
have
you.
to do some editing, and then once we get to YouTube, I think it's going to be a little bit more of an unedited show.
Yeah, everyone has YouTube. Come on.
So
Right.
at
know
that
that.
point, we'll have a little bit more fun. So please share the video if you haven't already, and thank you for tuning in. And we look forward to seeing you guys Monday.
Please take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Thank
guys.
you.
We love you so
mind,
much.
body, and soul. Right? Mind, body,
Temple.
and soul.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Are you leaving? Namaste.
Namaste.
See you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Peace.